Welcome to Norm's Community Corner out there, all you people. And I am so excited. We got a lot of activities going on here in Manchester, don't we?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be a great
Oh,
Sunday. Tomorrow's going to be a great
It'll be
day.
very interesting to see how that works.
Right, you know. And then we have the Honorable Glen Ouelette candidate for mayor.
Well, I wouldn't say honorable, but
Well,
thank
we'll
you very
say-
much.
Well, we try to pay him a compliment.
I consider myself a regular citizen.
Well,
You're
so
a very involved citizen, so I wouldn't say
Right,
a
there you
regular
go.
Well,
So that's why I call you an honorable.
I work for the
Okay.
people.
Now, Glenn,
That's
you
my
said you have a
interest.
4-minute tape?
Yes, I didn't bring it with me. It's in the other room.
Oh, okay. Well, it's up to you. But
Yeah.
what is the reason why you're running for mayor?
Because, I've been here since 1986, and I've been involved in the city literally with the Alderman board going to the meetings since 2001. And go back to your archive. Nothing's changed. We throw money at issues every single year, yet we don't solve them. Or we bond an issue to fix a problem, and they take money and they put some of it somewhere else, and next year we didn't have enough money, so we're going to do some more bonding. Nothing's getting fixed.
When you talk about bonding, do you know what that? I really don't know what that means.
That means borrowing.
Another way for borrowing.
They want to borrow money, so they put out a bond, and
I
people
see.
will buy the bond.
And
They'll
we
give
pay-
you the money, and then they'll
Pay down the
hold on
road.
to that, and that's the debt that you have to pay
Yeah.
back
Oh, okay.
So this year they borrowed 30 million.
for the roads.
Well, no, that's 5 million for the roads. The total
Oh.
amount was 30 million. That's a lot for 1 year.
So we have to pay all
not
that.
For this, not for the city of Manchester. They borrow money
Yeah.
ad nauseum, and it's just.
If I seem excited, folks, I'm sorry. I have a lot of energy now. Tomorrow's a big day. Don't you agree?
I think so. Tomorrow,
Oh, yeah.
like I said, we'll
Of
turn
course,
out
you
very-
can't tell I'm a
being
Trump
very
fan,
interesting.
right?
I'm starting to see that.
And Glenn, what has the famous honorable mayor Joyce Craig done for the city besides destroy it?
Well, I got a call today to ask if I would campaign with Joyce Craig to knock doors by a presidential candidate that's from the Midwest, and that's fine. But first of all, I'm an independent, number one. And number two, I'm a candidate myself. Why would I do that? Do you think they get their facts straight before they do stuff like that?
Okay.
But I'll tell you, she said that Joyce has done so many good things. Well, she probably hasn't, she's probably done some good things, but I will tell you that I still say that we have segregated bathrooms in Veterans Park. When you have 2 sets of bathrooms in 15 feet, and you and I, and maybe you, if we're well dressed and we don't smell, they'll let us in to use the regular bathrooms that are heated. But if not, they'll say, "Oh, your bathrooms are outside." That's against our Constitution. That's called segregation. And then when they built, when they voted the city to spend $10,000 for 6 months. By the way, the 6 months is out, and I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with it. They decided that they needed to build a shed, which cost them about $3,000. And you know why? Because the merchant, like their hotel across the street, they have a new hotel there, changed name, and they have a new, on the first floor, they built a breakfast place there, a restaurant.
Yeah.
And you look out the window, and all you see is portables. And so they built a $3,000 shed.
To hide the
Covering up
portable
a
bathrooms.
segregation is still a crime.
Is that what your plan for is going to be about? Let's remodel the bathrooms?
No, that's not only my plan. Trust me. We need to stop patching things. We need to, when we borrow money, we need to borrow enough money to fix them. When you spend,
Well, let me stop you there because I think you're talking about the roads, right?
well, that's
You
one
don't
thing.
need to borrow money to fix the roads.
We shouldn't have to because there was a time we didn't do that.
Well, here's why. You register your vehicle
Yes.
that drives on those roads. You would think that the money for vehicle registrations was dedicated to fix the roads that the vehicles that were registered to drive on.
It's supposed to be.
It's not. It
Really?
goes into the general fund.
Everything goes
They
in the
spend it on whatever they want to, and then they say, "Oh, we need to borrow money to fix the road." And then they go for bonding, and they borrow money that they would have already had if they dedicated the resources in the proper ways. But that's not how it works.
How will you continue on with that FedEx having that robotic thing?
Oh, we can't stop that. That's business.
No, that isn't what I asked you.
Would I continue it?
Yeah.
Well, it's not for me to discontinue it. It's not mine. It belongs
If you
to a
were,
company.
the mayor is approving it, okay? As a mayor, would you continue allowing it to happen?
I would allow companies to come to Manchester. There's no question. We need more jobs. One of our problems in the city right now, Norm, is that I love high-tech jobs. Don't get me wrong, because they're good-paying jobs, and you're getting young people coming into the city, and that's all good. But 57% of the people cannot do high-tech. So we have a vision in this city to hire only high-tech companies. That's not a good vision when you have a diversity in the city. And 80% of the people are considered seniors, so you can't do that. You need to have diversity jobs, and we need to bring back manufacturing. They say America is great, we're bringing back manufacturing. They're not coming to Manchester.
Because
Where
the
are they?
Democrats won't let them.
That may be true, but the point is, where are they? We need to have jobs that our people can do. And a lot of the jobs that we've lost in the last 20 years were manufacturing jobs, and that's all they knew.
That's all this town was.
They're not going to go back to school at 50, 60 years old to get another education. It's not going to happen.
You know, and the sad part, I can remember when my son used to work when that factory where Market Basket is now.
Mm-hmm.
They had factories in there, remember?
Yeah.
And he was doing really well. He made making okay money, but all of a sudden, and political powers that may be decided no, they didn't want to have this company in there anymore. We'll put Market Basket in there instead. And this company that my son worked for said, you know what? We'll go to another area. We'll open up another shop there. No.
And you know, Norm, why are we afraid of the ACLU? Because
I think they're a joke.
no, let me tell you something. These are lawyers. Let me tell you something. If we're not breaking the law and the laws are already on the books, they won't sue us for enforcing the existing laws. Okay, we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, and I'll give you an example. When we tried to stop the I call it begging, but there's a word for it.
Panhandling?
Panhandling. Begging's a better word.
Well, that's the panhandling ordinance, right?
Yes. What they did is they went too far. Now, any city will allow you to bring your guitar, open it up, play the violin, and if you want to give $1, you're not begging because I'm giving it because I like your music.
Yep.
They wouldn't allow any of that, and they went even further. If you open your window and you gave someone a bottle of water, you could be arrested. Now that's where they broke the Constitution. You're taking away people's rights. They went too far. What I would have done is, when you're in the middle of the road and there's a little island there that's not very safe for you to walk, especially in the winter, and it's not safe for the drivers to stop when the light is green to begin with, that would have gone through the courts. I think the courts decided what they did is because they went too far. They wanted everybody not to give anything away.
Sure.
And you can't, it's not how government's supposed to work.
First of all, if they are standing in that medium, okay, like on Queen City Ave and that.
Yeah.
That's named after me, by the way, the Queen part.
I love it.
Is that what they call it, the Queen City?
Right. And you got these people. There's one lady that was literally holding a baby.
Yeah.
The baby couldn't have been one of us. And I called the welfare. I called the police. I said,
not
this
safe.
spoiling out there, why they? And they have, the people that are begging for money have more rights than you and I have.
Well,
You cannot roll your window down and throw them a dollar bill or whatever because you are the one who is violating the law.
I never give them money. If I've got food or something,
I'll happily give it to them.
Coming from the grocery store, I'll hand food out the window. I never give anybody money
That's
anymore.
something else the mayor did. She made a point to the Board of Mayor and Alderman, and they're all saying the same thing. Now, no matter what party you're in, they're just saying, don't feed them and don't give them money. I believe in not giving them money because we have agencies that does that. You were supposed to come out with a little card that goes in your pocket and pass them out to the homeless saying, you need help? These are the agencies.
Yeah.
And give that to people like you and I, so that we don't give money, because I don't want to give money to someone that's going to use it for drugs or alcohol. And you know, the people that are really panhandling, a lot of them are in their 20s who are available to work. And I've talked to some of these people. They make more money than they would, and they don't have to pay taxes.
Sure.
That's what one guy says, why should I work? You and I work our butts off to...
Yeah, and they can buy what they want because it's all cash money.
But what a white privilege.
Well, I like cash. Cash is
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Right?
Good for something.
It's good for a lot of things.
Right.
'Cause
What a
government
white-
steals enough of your money.
That's true.
What a white privilege.
Yeah. Okay. You can have that discrimination, right? That discrimination's allowed, but discrimination is not good.
No.
But that one's okay.
But that one's okay.
That one's okay.
Because we, as white
But I don't consider
privilege-
myself part of the white privilege because
I work for a living, don't you?
What's that?
We work for a living, so the other people that are welfare specialists or whatever, sue me if you want, and I can,
Sure.
But if someone deserves to have the disability, or if someone deserves to have the help they really need,
I see some people
have
out
no
there that
problem.
are really working it, right? You'll see people out there in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They'll go out there in the middle of the winter hoping that it's going to be a good score, or the summer. I've tried to hire people off of there. I do parking lot maintenance and things like that. So you can always use somebody for
Yeah.
laborer, and they make good money. You ask them to show up. Hey, we've got a job, more than qualified. Come and work. No. I don't
What
want
would
to
you
work.
do to
You got a
change
couple.
the
You got a couple
ordinance?
bucks for me?
Yeah.
Well, I would attempt with the city solicitors to rewrite the ordinance and to make sure that we don't go to the point where we're actually breaking the Constitution. When you write a bill and you go too far, it's not going to pass.
Well, why is there an ordinance? Why does the city why does any city anywhere get to make a rule that says I can't give you something?
Yeah, it should be a law, if anything. And I'm not saying I shouldn't retract myself. If it's not lawful, why are we creating it?
It's not unlawful. It's a free society, is it
you
not?
know,
I mean, now they're controlling
I
your
agree
actions
with
so
you.
much that you
Yeah.
can't
So-
you can't help your fellow man with a
It's the
morsel of food.
It's the same thing as cameras. They won't put cameras in the hallway of the Veterans Park bathroom because they say it's illegal. Yet they have them in the hallway at the Doris Pond. So if it's legal for Ward
What do you
One,
mean
why is
they
it?
they have cameras in the bathrooms?
No, you can't
No,
have
not in the
cameras
bathrooms.
In a bathroom.
In the hallways and the entrances, so they know who comes in and out. So if there's a crime, it's called a tool. If there's a rape in there, you'll know who got into that time. You can't have in
I
the
think they're
actual.
going overboard.
They are going overboard.
The
You
po-
can't go anywhere without them spying on you.
And now they want to
watching
put a
you, tracking
camera
you.
in every single intersection.
Well, my goal is I'm going to give every one of those cameras a moon.
I'll tell you
Remember
what I
those-
do every time I go through the tolls is I give them the old middle finger salute.
Don't-
I put the visor down so they can't see my face because they've got the cameras that look in. You ever driven into Maine?
Oh yeah.
You ever go through the toll booth in Maine? As soon as you go through the toll booth, the camera flashes right at you. It takes your picture every time you go through. I made that trip once. On the way back, I had the visor down so that you can't see my face. I had my hat down so you can't see my face. I put both hands on the steering wheel.
It's
and I
still
give the
flashed,
old middle
though,
finger salute as I go through the toll. So the picture that they get, if they're ever going to send me a ticket, which they won't because I pay the toll, but the picture that they're going to get in their little booth is, thank you very much.
Would you allow, and if you were elected mayor, and we go to these mayor alderman meetings, which I think are a joke, and would you allow them to answer questions instead of having the closed session?
We brought that up before all during the year, and some want, some don't. I would think that at least once a month, there's 2 meetings a month, once a month or once a quarter, you would allow that. There has to be some decor because some people can be very disruptive, but first of all, I would go to 4 minutes. You don't say much in 3 minutes. And if it was an evening when the place was really full, then you could say, all right, we got to bend the rules here. We don't want to be here till midnight. Having a long meeting doesn't help the board either, and you get tired, and it's
Well, that's their problem. And that's
well,
what they
it
run
is.
for,
It is.
right?
I don't argue that. But look at the school board. It's
Your school board is a joke.
it's unmanageable. You don't go there to tell that I played golf this week. You're here for business. Let's get some things done. But my biggest point is this here. 2 years ago, we had 601 kids that were considered of MSD, our public schools, that were considered in danger, either homeless or being in danger of being homeless. We're talking kids from kindergarten to the 12th grade. This year, the new figures come out, and we're 1,044. That's double. That's a 90% increase. That's unacceptable. Kids should not have to worry about, once they leave school, where's their next meal and which couch am I going to sleep on. First of all, it offends me that we not do anything about that. We are the biggest.
How do you
we are
tackle that? That's a tough one.
We are the biggest city in New Hampshire, so we have the most sex offenders. You got to live
what
somewhere.
state?
Huh?
In what state?
In New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
I have an accent, so sorry, I'm French.
That's why it's called the Queen City, by the way.
That's
It's-
right.
It's the largest city in the state, but it's not the capital.
No.
No, it's not the
That's
capital.
why it's the Queen City.
But you don't have to be the capital. A lot of states don't.
I know. I'm explaining why it's
Right,
called the Queen
right.
City.
Yeah.
It's the largest
But-
city, but not the capital.
Yeah.
The capital's the king, and
But doesn't a lot of these homeless, Glenn, doesn't a lot of these children that are homeless, doesn't that start with the parents?
Of course it does. But one of the problems is this here. If you go back 20 years,
2 years I've running for Alderman.
20 years ago we had
You
plenty.
gotta help me.
2 years
Got
ago,
it.
I don't know how long Phil's been here, but 20 years ago,
been here for 20 years at least.
we had plenty of jobs for everybody in this city. We have a lot of manufacturing jobs. They're all gone. So if you worked for a place for 10, 20, 30 years and you're now in your 50s and 60s, you're not going to go back to college to learn high tech. It didn't exist when they were around. when they were younger. And so you need to bring in, when you live in a city, we're not talking a small town here. We're looking at a city, even though it's not a big city. We have a diversified city, so we need to create jobs that our people can do. And if you give them an income and they work for it, we are a better city. When people got laid off in 2008, when the recession really got big and the housing market blew up, a lot of these people that went back for their jobs when the recession blew over and the economy got better, they didn't take them. They're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and we're not going to pay you that salary because you've got experience. We're going to go after new kids, new young college kids, which is fantastic. But these people lost their full-time job. They lost their benefits, and now both parents are working part-time jobs. They still have 3 kids on the block in their home.
How do you attract those type of jobs back? You can't create them. You have to attract businesses
that
offer those manufacturing
and we're not doing
jobs.
a very good job in doing that.
Right.
What would you do to attract?
I would go out. I would find out. There's a way to find out because I know exactly who's coming into the state and who's not. Who's looking for jobs in the United States? What company want to move? Are thinking about moving to a state or a city? What can we offer them, and what do we have to offer them? We're not a bad city, and we don't have a state tax or an income tax.
Well, there's the good part for the folks that live here. For businesses, you have a business profit tax, you have a business enterprise tax.
But they've cut those taxes twice in the last 4 years.
And who keeps trying to raise them?
Well, I understand that, but you can't cut them off completely because if you cut them off to a zero, then you're going to have state companies come in here.
There needs to be some, but a business profit tax and a business enterprise tax. How about there's one?
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna tax me because I'm enterprising, and you're gonna tax me because I'm profiting.
If you tax the businesses out of here, they're not going to stay to begin with.
Well, of course not. You need to find ways to reduce the regulations and restrictions on where they can operate. I know there is a perfect place, the Hackett Hill industrial area.
Yes.
Right? Remember, some developers bought that property up there, worked with the city to build out the infrastructure.
For industry.
Took on the debt. We're going to build some facilities up there. And then the city turned on them, and now the place is still just dirt. And the guy lost his shirt on the deal.
And the 2 lots that they sold, they weren't industrial. They were apartment buildings. So my plan is this year. If we allow that to continue in the next 10 years, that was the biggest land piece left for industry zoned in this city. If we do that, we're going to have to go to Boston or somewhere else to work because there'll be no place to build here. We should have saved that. That was a resource that the city needed. When they build the highway and they fix it in 2023, whenever they're finally going to get it done, there's supposed to be a road going direct there, but it's not going to be for industry. There's no industry up there.
Oh, you mean by the Amiskag Rotary, they're going to fix all that mess by 2023?
It's been already, 15 years?
Okay, I forgot my boobs.
We keep paying the state tax, and we never get it done.
Of course, because they spend it on other stuff. That's the system. You should know that by now.
One of my policies, Norm, is this year. If the city goes out and they fund a project, as mayor, I will say you make sure you get your figures right. Because the rule is 10%. There's a caution for 10% in case something happens, emergency or something.
Yeah, contingency. But the city
10%.
shouldn't be the city shouldn't be doing anything. The city should be worried about the roads, your trash collection, police and fire. That's it. They shouldn't be in the business development. They shouldn't be.
You don't think we should be educating our kids?
Well, I don't think that should be the city's responsibility. You see how well they do with the Manchester School District.
The state just
all the towns are leaving.
The state just got sued by the Supreme Court that we weren't paying enough as a state.
Listen, don't get me started on the state Supreme Court because their idea of cherish means pay for. I cherish cheeseburgers. You guys buying me lunch? No, because it's not your responsibility to buy something that I cherish. Just because I like it doesn't mean that you have to pay for it. And that was the Supreme Court's interpretation of what the Constitution
but Phil, I'm a strong believer
meant as far as education, and that's not true. So they put the state of New Hampshire on the hook to pay for education when each locality is responsible to pay for their education.
I'm a strong
Claremont cannot afford to build their own school,
of course not.
Then they need to pay to send their kids to school in the neighboring town that can. That's their responsibility. It's not the responsibility of Derry or Goffstown or Manchester to pay for the students in Claremont. Claremont's responsibility that if they can't do it, then maybe they need some special assistance from the state, but the state doesn't need to be this overwhelming entity that somehow has to come up with calculations that this school gets more and this school gets less.
What is
Talk
the difference?
about unconstitutionality.
What is the difference? I'm coming to that.
So the state Supreme Court says you cherish, but it's not cherished equally.
What
People
is the
spend more
difference?
over here,
What is
more
the
over
difference,
there,
Phil, of us paying for our local students to go to public schools versus the state passing a law to subsidize religious schools and other nonprofit schools?
Well, they're not subsidizing them.
Well, they are. They're giving them money.
Well, no, the people are voluntarily paying
To go to the private
those schools, and
They
they're
are
also
today.
voluntarily donating to those schools. And instead of that money being taken off of whatever taxes they're paying, that's what I paid for in tax. So I am getting now to decide where my state tax dollars are being spent. So if I decide that Norm's charity is better than your charity, I'm going to give to Norm's charity.
I understand all that, Phil, but you know
Croydon
what?
got knocked
If you
down.
take the poorest of our kids and you don't educate them,
Oh, of course you have
you're
to
going to have
educate them.
you're going to have a bigger problem than you have now.
You
That
have to
has
do a
nothing
lot
I
to
to
educate
believe
them.
I believe in equal education for every student in our city.
Right, and that's why
But
you
the city
need to
don't.
be able to have school choice. Because you don't get
You can
equal
have
edu-
school choice. I'm not against school
Well,
choice.
that's what you're talking about. You're
No,
saying
I'm
that
not.
the state is subsidizing these private.
Well, they
private,
are,
no,
and
they're
that money will come away from the public schools, which are already struggling to begin with.
Well, maybe there's right there shows you that people don't want to go to public schools. So why am I forced to go to a school in zip code 03102 when there's a better school that my kid wants to go
That
to
may
has
be
better
so, but
programs in
but
03104?
not every kid can afford to do that.
Well, no, you're talking about public
We're
schools.
talking about public schools now.
If my kid lives in 03102, but they don't offer the programs that my kid excels at or my kid is interested in, but they do in 03104, why do I have to be stuck in 03102?
I agree, and that's a problem that I've tried to resolve years ago, and it's not going anywhere. We have 4 major high schools right now. 2 of them are already considered magnetic schools. MST, they have specialties, and so does the West
How do you
High
like
School.
MST being a 4-year school now?
I think it's fine. A lot of kids. I was a hand-me-down kid.
Well, it
I
used to be 2 years.
I know, but
I sponsored the law that says you can have it to be 4 years.
Did you?
'cause I'm in
did.
favor of that. A lot of
I'm all
kids.
about education. You
Yeah.
got to teach the kids because if the
A
kids
lot
grow
of-
up stupid, we're all in big trouble.
That's right. A lot of children don't do well in books. They do well at hands.
They do
Everybody's
well in
di-
lots of different ways.
Yes,
That's why
everybody's
you have
different.
to let them have the
That's
ability
right.
to go where they
That's
need to
right.
go to learn.
I'll give you an example. There's a child who was in the junior high school. Excuse me, he was in the he was going to start his junior class, and he was thinking about quitting school because he wasn't doing well in school. Until I said, well, why don't you go to MST? So I talked to his dad. So
a great program.
They took him to MST. He said, you know what? I'd like to be a welder.
Mm-hmm.
He graduated from high school. He would not have graduated otherwise. He was going to quit. And he's now working for GM in Pennsylvania, making lots of money.
Right out of high school.
We saved that kid.
Yeah. MST is great for kids that decide that or think that they can't go to college.
Well, I have a
they
friend
could
of
learn
mine.
a trade.
College is not for everyone.
Yeah, I have a friend whose son is now going to chef's college.
Mm-hmm.
He studied at MST.
Yeah.
He's from Bedford. He had to pay out of his own pocket for him to go to because he was out of town or out of the city, and he thrived because he couldn't handle the curriculum. But he went to school and he graduated.
Good.
And he's now going to Wales and whatever that Joseph of Wales
Okay.
Culinary Art School.
Wow, fantastic.
Right, very good friends of mine, and I'm so excited that he's doing this. You know, see, education. I don't understand why the administration, like the superintendents and assistant superintendents, the principals, the vice principals, they got 300,000 or 400,000 of them, and they're making more money than that's going on, and they're forgetting about the education of our students.
Every year the school says they need more money, right?
Right.
Every year the school has less students. What do they need more money for?
Well, what bugs me is when the Board of Mayor and Alderman gave them.
Hello, North Community Corner.
Hi, Norm. This is Donna. How are you?
I am doing very good. How are you?
Good. I'm watching your show right now.
Oh, good. What do you think so far?
So far, pretty good. I like pretty good. Well, on some of the topics, they're pretty good.
You have any comments to make about it?
Any comments about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How come can we clean up Veterans Park in one certain corner area?
We
On
could.
Merrimack Street.
We could if they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, now Merrimack Street? Oh,
That's right next to Veterans Park.
Oh, okay. We can try, I guess. All the men that we had today, they're afraid to do any work. They're afraid to fight. They're afraid to stick up for the citizens. When we had my good friend Phil as an alderman, he fought for the people. Am I right?
I did as best I could. Yeah.
Yep.
It's hard.
You
It's,
know.
it's hard when you have everyone else on the board wanting to do one thing.
You know,
And you're the
Donna.
one that wants to do.
Donna and I
something else.
danced today to Senior
Really?
Citizen Center, didn't we, Donna?
You
What?
When you and I danced it not too long ago, huh?
Yeah, our dance was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
we had
Donna,
fun.
when we as a city did something that we had no business of doing, land that we don't own by the highway or on an island, and we tore their camps. We tore the encampments of the homeless. Where did they expect them to go if they weren't going to find them? Of course they came downtown. Where else would they have gone? We created that situation. And here's something even worse that I would do as a mayor. Right now we have a hepatitis A going around in the state of New Hampshire, bigger than we've ever had. And in the summer we have our outdoor restaurants. Why is it in this city we have a machine that steams things and we can't steam the sidewalk to get rid of the bacteria? If they really care about the merchants, they would do that. We have that. We have a machine that does graffiti and we're not using it.
Does that mean that I can gather up a couple friends and we can go and take our lawn chairs out there and sit out there just as well as they can camp out there?
I would think so. Why not? It's a free park. It's a business park. It's a city park. It's the same thing as when they closed Bernstein Park in the daytime because of the kids. Well, guess what? It's up by Central High School. Oh. A lot of the seniors in that neighborhood were using the section that's made for the regular people. They closed the whole park, not just part of the park. You and I and you would go there and we'd read the sign and we'd say, oh, we're not supposed to be here from 7:30 to 4 p.m. But the criminal will go and say, there's no authority here. Let's go do our drugs here.
Shocking. Criminals don't follow the law?
That's right.
My goodness.
Well, you know that.
I'm so surprised at that.
So they close the park so that the criminals can rule the city?
Yeah.
No way. Same thing as at night. The majority of our violent crimes, our stabbings and shootings, happen between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. So I'm proud of our police chief this past few weeks that he finally put in 2 extra cars because that's where your crime, when you and I are asleep, there are major crimes happening in our city.
Well, as long as they're not having a Dunkin' Donut coffee, we'll be okay.
So there are things.
Well, you know, like
there are things.
Like you mentioned 20 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago, we people did have jobs.
We did.
People didn't have to worry as much as we do now.
That's true.
About crimes and stuff. We took care of our families.
Yeah.
And it's not like today.
No.
Not at all.
So, and now we have all these people out here that are homeless, and there is work for these people, but they don't want to do nothing.
And you're absolutely right.
Saying right now.
Yeah.
Well, not all.
You know?
I just found one a job, and she's happy because now she can support her family.
Yeah.
But there always was, and there always will be, and unfortunately she's right. It's the population of those people are going up. There'll always be a group of people who don't want to work for a living.
There are those, but I can't see that anybody
but it's not a majority.
decides or
it's not a majority.
wants to be
living
homeless. On the streets. But
I actually know a lot of people who are homeless and are happy being homeless.
Yeah, there
but
are
they
some.
survive. They don't beg money. They don't. They work like a work. They do want to be. But
they find ways to survive.
Right.
They want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they also don't.
That's
they don't want
thing
to have the responsibilities of day-to-day life.
And what I like too is the fact that she denies having anything to do about tearing up the homeless.
Excuse me, it was her idea. So were the bathrooms, by the way.
Right.
So in 6 years, Phil, you were around long enough. In 6 years since they closed the bathroom, in fact, she made the motion to close the bathroom when she was an alderman. In 6 years that they closed it, yes, Joyce was an alderman in Ward 1.
She was on school board, then she went to alderman.
Alderman, yeah. When they closed those bathrooms, it was to get rid of the drugs in the park. There are more.
Hello,
drugs
welcome to North Community Corner.
It's still ringing.
Oh.
You there, Donna? I think you hung up on Donna.
No, it's in line 1 showing there. So, Donna, call us back. Sorry about that.
So
I think
there are more drugs in the park now. For example, what's the name of that
I'm glad
drug?
you called them drugs.
Because they are drugs.
Well, that's not what they want to call them now. They come up with a new word every time, so you
what's it
don't
called
make
now?
the people that are on drugs feel bad, right? So it used to have an addiction. Now you have a use disorder.
Right.
A use
I
disorder?
think.
I
Well,
don't
that's.
accept
I
that.
hear it on the radio all the
Well,
time.
I
If
don't
you have a
accept that.
substance use disorder,
Yeah.
right? How about if we stop
It's-
coddling everybody and
yeah,
we just start
it's
actually
an
like going
addiction.
back to being real people?
Hello, welcome to North Community Corner.
Hi, it's me again, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Cut off.
Norm cut you off. He thought you were
Sorry
another
about
call.
that. Yeah, it's 4:30.
Yeah, I gotta go. So
Okay.
let me make my final statement because I have to go, Don. I have to go to work. I do work.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to feed the meter. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
All right.
When they closed those parks, the Veterans Park bathrooms,
Yeah.
we were told, one, the bathrooms were broken. Yet every 3 times a week we clean them. Would you clean your bathroom if it's broken and it doesn't work? You don't use it? No. That's a waste of money. And then we find out now they're saying, well, they're not broken. No, they need repair. I went in there 2 weeks ago and flushed everyone on my camera. And I said, look, Joyce, guess what? They flush. Hundreds of people. Tomorrow night, there'll be 1,000 people in that park for that concert, plus the big events going on downtown. People will be using those bathrooms, and guess what? They will flush. There won't be an emergency. So in 6 years, they couldn't find $50,000. They started at $55,000, Donna, to repair those bathrooms 2 years ago. Now they're up. Their estimate is $200,000. We don't need a $3,000 vanity sink that has a mirror with lights and you can comb your hair. Go do that at home. You do your business, you wash your hands, and you move on.
Well, a lot of that, too, I blame, like, Gassens was also responsible for us. I'm concerned for that.
Who?
Yeah, Ted Gassens. Okay.
Oh, yes, there's no...
It's
been going on a long time.
Yeah. Didn't he cut the benches at the park?
Yes, that's so destructive. If you and I did that, we got arrested for destroying public property.
And I don't know. People come downtown to relax. Do you agree, Donna?
Yes.
And they want to enjoy the city of Manchester. I don't like coming downtown anymore.
So I have to go. So let me say this: today, since 2015, we're averaging about 6% of poverty going up. It hasn't changed. This year, we're at 35%. The numbers need to go down, or we're not fixing the problems.
But also, the people that are homeless. Don't get me wrong.
They're not all like that.
No, let me finish, please. The people that are homeless, a lot of them. They don't want to improve their life.
There are some, yes.
Okay, and I was homeless. I had to fight my way back. But anybody that wants to get better and support themselves, they can do it. What do you think, Donna?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
I did it. You've done it before.
I can.
You've done it before, right?
I find rents at least once or twice a week to homeless people. So there are some that want it.
Where I was going to have feed my kids, or one day to the other if I was going to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Now,
I raised 3 kids back when I was younger.
Yeah.
I did it.
Donna, I have a question for you.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I have a question or an opinion. Right now, we're in the process of doing our new 10-year plan, a new vision. One of the vision is no more affordable housing, and we're going to stop applying for federal housing funding, which is our tax dollars. If we don't get it, somebody else will. So we're not going to subsidize rents for the poorest of the poor. And I'm talking about those that are disabled or seniors. Remember, when we were younger, mothers didn't work. They worked at home raising their kids, and they weren't paid for that. So when their husband died, they got some of that income. So the average person who's underneath that gets between $500 and $700 a month. You can't pay rent with that, let alone feed yourself. So
but the thing is, there's a 7 to 10 year waiting list.
Yes, but the ones that already have it, they want to take away the subsidies.
And another thing I don't agree with is this pay rate here. We need to come out of the 60s and grow up here and pay these people what they deserve.
That's right, a living wage.
That's why some of these people are homeless. They can't afford anything because you're back into $7.25 an hour. Come on, people, wake up.
I know a family, Donna, that in February the landlord sold his apartment on the west side. A month later, he came up to all the tenants, and this one had been there for 13 years, that family, and said, "You're going to give me $1,200 more a year." Well, their income didn't go up, so they had to vacate their apartment and spend the winter in a van. That's wrong. What did that person do to improve that apartment? Nothing.
There's just less units available, and then the market rate goes up.
Well, we're not building no more affordable housing either. So,
well, you're talking about the apartments they want to build on Hackett Hill. That's why people keep wanting to build apartments.
Those aren't affordable housing.
They just want to build more apartments so that there's more units so that they can get more money.
Yeah, and
but then once those units are full, then all the other units are worth more money because there's less available and everything.
And then there's no jobs that they can do. You need to have jobs that they can do.
Well, look at Citizen Bank. Then he bought that building, right? And the apartments here in luxury one-bedroom apartments like between $1,500 and $2,000 and up.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go to work.
Okay. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Back on. Folks, remember this.
Good to see you again, Glenn.
Glen,
sure you will.
R.J. Ouelette,
I'm not going away.
Independent, running for mayor. Listen about what he had to say. Listen to his show tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, or you can actually get me. I have a I don't have a website. I have a kind of costs too much money. I actually have a Facebook page. It's Ouelette for Mayor Facebook. So go Facebook/Ouelette for Mayor.
You got my vote.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Have a good show, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
See ya.
You're welcome, Donna.
So, thank you for calling in, Donna. And we'll talk to you in a little bit.
You're welcome.
Okay? We'll talk to you in a little bit here. Now I'm going to harass Phil here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now, you were an alderman, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. For how many years?
For 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, and then I had to move.
Yeah.
So.
Couldn't handle it anymore.
Well, I ran for re-election, but I had moved out of the state before the election. It was one of those things. I didn't want to just give up the seat and just let them take it away.
Yeah.
I wanted them to work for it, and they had to work really hard for it.
And I'm glad. You know? And the thing, have you seen anything for the better?
I don't live in Manchester
No, I know.
anymore.
But that's what I'm saying. You're more an observer now.
Yeah, I'm an observer. I haven't really seen anything different except on my way in here. People openly living on Elm Street.
Yeah.
That was a shock to me.
Isn't it sad?
Well,
But half the people that do live on Elm Street or in the park, and I will say this because there are plenty, the thing is there is plenty of help out there.
there's plenty of places to go.
They can
There's
go.
plenty of help. I saw the sign on Queen City on 2nd Street on my way to and from in and out of the west side of Manchester.
Yeah.
They can call 211. What
Yeah.
kind of struck me as odd is if you're homeless, you probably don't have a phone. How are you calling 211?
They have better phones than you and I
Right?
do.
Well, then how are they homeless if they have a better phone than I do?
They do. They have
Right?
a better phone.
Some people choose to be homeless.
Yeah.
Some people can't help it. They have a bad situation,
Yeah.
and the city needs to do more to help them rather than just allow them to
Well,
continue to
George
live on the
Craig
street.
organized a homeless committee.
Yeah, there's a lot of committees. They all talk.
But they don't
Do
go
they get
out
any
and
results?
No, they don't go out. If I was going to run for alderman, which I'm thinking about doing, thanks to your encouragement a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
you know, one thing I would push and I would really stress pushing for is if you're going to be on a homeless committee. Oh, here we go. Welcome to North Community Corner.
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
Hello. Yeah, I've been trying to get you for the last 20 minutes, but it would ring and go busy afterwards.
Oh, well, we've had a lady on talking quite a while.
Yeah, but this was before.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phone lines are lit up, Mary.
Was on, yeah. Yeah, you know, these homeless people, I mean, some of them, like Glenn was saying, and you know, the rents are going so high. I'm lucky what I have here
We're all
for
looking
a
for what we have
landlord.
if you have
It
something.
doesn't go up
Yeah.
on me because, you know, if he did go up on me, I'd probably be in the streets myself because I cannot afford any more than what I'm doing, than what I have right now. Because my money goes out for insulin, the things I have to keep myself alive. Without insulin, I wouldn't be here.
How long have you been living there, Mary?
5 years.
5 years. Most landlords
years.
like a long-term tenant. They rarely raise their rent enough to price them out because then they have to
He
bring
was-
in somebody
yeah,
that they
but he
don't
was
know and have to
going to,
deal with a whole lot of
And
stress.
yeah, but he was going to, and I said, if you do, I don't know how I'm going to get that extra $25 out because most of my money goes into insulin and everything else that I have to have.
Yeah,
So
and the
I don't
insulin
know where
market,
that
that's not
extra
really too good either.
$25
No.
I
Bring it
can
back
say
closer.
thank you to my landlord
Yeah.
Yeah.
for being so good. He says, no, Mary, you've been with us here over 5 years. We'll find another way of doing it.
That's a good person.
He is. They're good landlords, and I really appreciate what they're doing for me. Because, like I said, there's nothing here. You know, they say, who can pay $1,000 a month? I can't. I can't even pay $800 a month because where my money's at right now.
Well, what do you think?
And
What do you
I
think
don't
about what's
know
happened with the
now.
insulin, Mary?
Insulin is very expensive.
How do you like how they raised that out of nowhere?
I know. You know, I called up Humana.
Yeah.
And I tried to get insulin from them, and they get insulin from them because I have to take. I was at 6 shots a day, and I told them, I can't do it anymore because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
So they got me 5 shots a day, which I still can't do it because I don't have enough insulin for the month for me to get through. or anything.
Yeah.
So Humana, because I'm in what they call a donut hole. That I'm in
Yeah,
right
all
now.
these little things, the donut hole, this and that, it's all a bunch of nonsense. What happened to the affordable
They
care?
want almost $600.
Yeah, Obamacare.
It's all a lie. The
Well,
affordable
you
care.
talk
There's
to
no
me.
affordable care.
I don't have it.
Right. None of us have it. I don't even have insurance, and I have to pay $1,000 a year as a penalty because I don't have any insurance.
I had to pay that
Isn't
too.
that crazy?
It's ridiculous. Thank you very much for
It is.
affordable care that none of us can afford.
Right.
I saw
That's right.
I saw something in the Union Leader that the Ray Buckley was up in Concord bashing the president because he didn't come through on his promises on cheaper health care. Well, thank you very much, but you guys are the ones who ruin health care that we can't have affordable health care in the first place. It wasn't going that great before, but it sure is going a lot worse now.
Yeah, and then they want to have where you're going to pay for for your insurance and pick out, like different companies.
It's a mess.
I tried to call different companies. I say I'm a diabetic. That's not bad. The price wasn't too bad compared to what I'm doing now. But the minute you say you are a diabetic, you have problems with your kidneys, because my kidneys failed me twice.
Sorry to hear
And you
that.
tell them you have, problem with your heart and everything else. Well, guess what? It goes up triple.
Sure.
A friend of mine pays
Because you say that.
$1,800
You
a
can't
month.
lie, because you're going to have to take, some kind of...
Well, they'll just look at your records. They'll know.
You're going to find out anyway.
Yeah, they'll look at your records. They'll know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, my friend pays $1,800 a month for insurance. And
That's
it
ridiculous.
has to be, and they don't pay like she had to have, like she's also diabetic, but has cancer
right.
too. And there's a $500 deductible on everything she.
Wow.
And I don't believe. Well, the one thing I don't believe, if you have insurance, I don't believe in those deductibles. If you're paying $1,000 to $1,800 a month, why should you have to be a copay? Why
That's right,
can't
you
they
shouldn't
accept
have
what
to
the
have
sheriff?
If you're paying a lot of insurance,
Well,
yeah,
usually paying
I would
$100.
agree.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, Mary,
That's
am I
just
going to
more
see you
money
at the? Am I going to see you at the rally tomorrow?
No. No.
Mary's a Democrat.
That's okay.
Yeah, Mary and I.
You're not throwing rocks, though, are you, Mary?
No.
No, I'm going to do my show tomorrow.
Okay.
And
Mary and I have
everything
been friends for over
else,
50
at 5
years.
o'clock. And then I'll go home for after that.
Right, Mary. You and I have been friends for over 50 years.
Well, keep in mind the streets might be
yeah.
closed.
Yeah.
They might have closed off some streets.
Yeah.
So you have to find
But
an
I
alternate
don't know
route.
about this end, no. I don't think it'll be closed up.
I'm pretty sure they'll close down Elm
I
Street.
know
Now get
from
you out.
Merrimack South,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it should be
Yeah.
closed.
Maybe.
And they talked about that. I'd be by the studio too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But they'll get
Oh,
Mary
yeah.
out because Mary's special.
They'll get you out.
Yeah. Okay, Mary. Thank you for the call in.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Now, one thing that I know, Phil, is that when I first came here to Manchester several years ago, 30 years ago at first,
Yeah.
I loved it.
I love it. Manchester's a
do
great
too.
city.
I don't
It's being
want to.
ruined, but it's a great
But,
city.
And that's like when they went and we redid the whole park over. I kept pushing for it, and I kept getting on Bill Berry's case. Let's get it done.
Sure.
Remember what I had talked to you about? You
Oh,
would
yeah.
have looked into it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And the sad part is nobody effing cares.
That's one of the problems.
No, up and down my street, I go, how do you like it? Oh, I didn't know. Then they they pulled that trailer out on the police substation there.
Okay.
They pulled that out and they got this grass going in there. But before that, they spent $5,000 building a new steps.
Mm-hmm.
And something for the handicap.
Starting to sound like government. Let's build new steps, and then we're going to tear down the building.
And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm seeing people that sleep outside. When that substation was there as a deterrent.
Yeah.
To have
You had activity.
Right.
Once things are used,
Yeah.
you have people going in and out of the building.
Right.
There's less likelihood of other people milling about in the area. They're like, oh, somebody's going to drive through in a while. They probably can't stay here. It's not a good idea. Let me
I
find
actually
some
could
other
write a
place.
book at the things I saw with the police department there,
Hey.
but that's okay,
There's all sorts of things that
Oh,
go
yeah.
on.
But they did, I got a compliment to Quantum Club and all these others, and I'm not done fighting for the park, and they had redone. Have you been by the park recently?
Not so much.
Take a drive by sometime, Tweedy Park.
Oh, Sweeney Park. Yeah,
No,
I go
what
by
is it?
there
Yeah.
every once in a while. Yeah.
Over by 7-Eleven.
I still have
there.
Stacy cut my hair.
Yeah.
She's right there,
Yeah.
Granite Square.
And take a look at, they got a new pirate ship there, and they got all that stuff.
Okay.
You got if you one
It's a
man.
good park. It's got a lot of activities that you
Yeah.
could do in there.
Yeah, one man's voice can be heard.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Can be heard.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right?
And
as
I'm
long
not
as you
giving
keep,
up on that.
as
I
long as
want to
you keep
have
on
a
it.
big. One of my big goals is, and you'll get invited. I would like to have a block party.
Mm-hmm.
Having all the people there.
Yeah.
You know, and we had some people that actually lived from Nepal that actually lived in my building. They were the nicest people going.
I've met a lot of nice people from other countries.
They
Let me
really
tell you.
were. And one of the ladies, and one of the little girls said, "You're my white grandpa."
Nah,
And I
that's
said,
not racist at all.
No, no.
You're
No,
my
I
white
took-
grandpa.
Yeah, I took it as a compliment.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You say
I
that
know.
anywhere else, and oh my
yeah.
gosh, oh,
I'd be
well,
in trouble,
yeah,
right?
well, you can say it because you're white, but
Yeah,
right?
but-
They could say it because you're white. You
right.
can't say it because you're
Then
white.
I had another person. Oh my God, you're white. I go, oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you gotta ride with the flow.
It's so politically correct out there. You can't say a thing without somebody being offended, and that's what I think is what's wrong with our society. Right? Everybody is offended. Everybody is hurt, and you need to get over it. You need to grow up. You need to be able to say it the way they are. Like we were talking with Glenn earlier. It's not a substance use disorder. You have a drug addiction. Go get taken care of.
I'm an alcoholic. That's that's not my.
You have a
disorder.
substance use disorder, Norm.
I'm an effing alcoholic. But I chose
Get
that
some
path.
help.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't identify it, you're never going to fix it. And people like to just say, "Oh, well, let's not offend them." Well, sometimes you need to offend somebody to be able to get them to snap into reality.
Right. When they come in my office, let me tell you, I don't sugarcoat anything. You hear about all these men that are overdosing, committing, suicide on the hair. You never hear about the women. And that break, because I have a lot of females that come into my office.
Yeah.
That have overdosed. Luckily, they've been able to get their life better. Heroin is one of the most atrocious drugs going.
It's horrible.
Okay, but the more that the government makes a big deal out of it, the more the pharmaceutical companies and the recovery centers are going to make money.
Well, that's the cycle, right? I remember when the United States first took over Afghanistan. Well, we can't stop the poppy the poppy farms. What will happen to the local economy? We're trying to earn the trust of the natives. We have to let them continue. But you're trying to fight heroin. So why aren't you fighting the place, starting to stop the production of the heroin?
That's where it all starts from.
It starts there. It starts in, you could stop it there and it'll pop up somewhere else. It's the squeezing of the balloon theory. You
Right.
squeeze it over here and you stopped it over here, but now it ballooned up over here. Okay, that's fine. That'll happen. But they're still making opium in Afghanistan. We still have troops in Afghanistan. We have a heroin problem in the United States. It's not rocket science to say that you should probably have figured out a way to transition them from that crop. I don't know. How long have we been there? 20 years?
Yeah.
Right? Almost 20 years?
Well, look at when in the war in Vietnam. That's where the heavy drugs actually started.
Came
too.
from there too. And who was letting it in?
Yeah.
The CIA.
Yeah.
Right? I watched a movie the other day. What was it? It was Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah.
American Gangster.
Right.
Right?
That was an awesome show.
The military was helping him transport it, right? There was another show I saw was with Tom Cruise, The American Dream or something like that.
They'll make the tape.
Right?
Yeah.
What was the one with Tom Cruise? It was the same thing.
Yeah.
The CIA was letting him bring in drugs from South America. How is that possible that our own
They are
government
the
lets
most-
these things into the United States?
They
I
are
think
the
it's so
most-
that they can fight them, and then so they can treat them.
See, the pharmaceutical company wants all this stuff in here.
They get it both ways, right?
Yeah, okay. So they pay a lot of money for that methadone clinics are a big joke because all they are synthetic heroin.
Well, it's just it's another addiction. So
Yeah.
instead of the addiction that you have where you shoot the drugs into your arm, you come here once a day and we'll give you the drug that you drink.
Yeah.
But you're still addicted to it,
Yeah,
right?
you know.
Suboxone, methadone, all those.
And people like Mary, who has to have the needles every day,
Mm-hmm.
okay, she has to pay a fortune
Yeah.
to have it. But these druggies...
For something that was relatively expensive until the last year or two.
Yeah. And then, but these druggies can go and get their needles for nothing.
Yeah,
They turn it in.
yeah.
And
I like it when people make the analogy that drug addiction is a disease, so we're going to help treat them for free. But the people with actual diseases, you have to pay.
Yeah, to hell, you go out the door. You know?
You have cancer, you have to pay. You have an addiction, we're going to help you.
I'm sorry, I don't.
We want to help we want to help them. If you don't help them, things are really going to get worse around here. You've got to find a way for them to have an alternative or some way to transition them back to reality instead of their alternate reality of being high every day.
See, I don't call alcohol, I don't call it drug addiction, I don't call it disease. We made that choice.
This is true. You make the choice, but after a while, you don't have the choice, right? Because you become addicted.
But then you can get sober if you want.
You can get sober.
You know, I don't believe that. Oh, I've been doing heroin for 30 years and I can't. Well, I drank since I was 15 years old. Now I'm 20. I've been sober
23?
now. 23. Yeah, I'm 23
now you're 23.
Yeah, but I've been sober now 23.
Good for you.
But I've been blessed because I've had my son who's sponsored, Scott, who's a big help, and you get a lot of people around here. The only thing I don't like with a lot of the meetings that I have gone to, they're meat factories. If you go to
you go to enough meetings, yeah.
And then all the repetition. Well, I wouldn't have done this if it meant for the alcohol. Don't blame the alcohol. You took that drink. Yeah. Well, you took that heroin shot.
That's another example. Personal responsibility. Nobody
wants
I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people today, because obviously there's a lot of us that do have responsibility. A lot of people today don't want to have any personal responsibility. They just want to do whatever they want to do, no consequences, and the world be damned. Right. And that's what's happening. Yeah.
One of my biggest things, if I was a state rep, I would never vote to support tax dollars supporting the rehab centers.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
They're doing it a lot. Those people have built-in contracts with the state that get millions of dollars. So,
and half the people are sent there by a court order. And unless they really want to have the help, then all well and good.
Yeah, I do like the drug courts. The drug courts take them out of the regular court system, keeps them out of the jail, gives them the opportunity to become rehabilitated or to get off the drugs without having to spend time in prison, because that costs us even more.
Right.
And then they don't even get any help. They just sit in prison for however many years or days or months that they are required to sit there. They go back out, they go right back to doing what they were doing. Stealing from everybody's unlocked car around the city to go to the pawn shop or to sell it online to get a couple of bucks so that they can get high.
A friend of mine and I went into a pawn shop, I'm not going to say where, and we went in, he found 7 of his rings in one of the pawn shops.
Really?
And they were worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
they were for sale?
Yep.
Did he report them stolen?
Oh, absolutely.
See, because when I was working in City Hall, they passed a requirement that every pawn shop had to hold on to their new merchandise for 90 days so that any police report can be checked against their new inventory to look for stolen goods. So I'm wondering how his rings wound up for sale with this program in place.
If they don't report it, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. That pawn shop should have been shut down.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Of course, you know, I do second reading, and I said, I know where your rings are. He goes, yeah, right. And I said, right in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention that.
Did he get them back?
After a long legal battle. They wanted to make him pay to get his rings back. I go, no,
you bought stolen stuff. You're receiving stolen property.
You can go to jail.
This guy should be. This guy should be.
And the guy's not in business anymore, we'll put it that way.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I fought like hell to get that guy closed.
Everybody likes to buy stuff, you know, at a discount, but when it's somebody else's stolen stuff, that's not good, because you know that once it's your stolen stuff,
I don't want mine then.
Right, I don't want my stuff stolen and stolen. So when somebody tries to sell me something that seems a little too good to be true, I'm not buying that.
There was one ring, it was a $25,000 ring.
Wow.
No lie.
Wow.
And I looked at the ring, and they wanted $2,500 for it.
Buy it.
Yeah, I wanted to, but it was his.
That's a legal transaction. You're in an actual store.
Yeah. No, this is at the pawn shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't do it because it was my friend. Had I been alone, I would have bought it. You know. But then I went ahead and get, well, is it stolen? Because they can take it back.
That's the thing. You want to make sure that it's not stolen. You want to make sure that the person who it's stolen from knows, like you did, told them where their merchandise was, so they can go and get it back. It's a shame they had to fight to get it back.
I want people to be aware. There are people posing as Comcast representatives.
Oh, they pose as everything.
Trying to sell Comcast stuff for. They
pose as the IRS, and they call and say you need to send a check. They get all the scams. Don't fall for anybody's nonsense.
No. This guy came knocking on the door, and he says, hi, I'm with Comcast. I can give you a good deal. I said, I just closed my account with
Right.
Comcast. I said, I'm not paying $270 a month. And all this. Well, I can fix it up for you. I go, no, not interested. He said, we can even change your name and your
Well,
address.
change your name and your address.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
go,
that doesn't seem
"Really?"
suspicious.
I said, you know what, sir? You got a choice. Either you leave here or I could pick up the phone and call the police, which I would have done,
Sure.
you know. But I'm sure the police would have been too busy.
Well, some of them like to scam their way into your house.
Oh, yeah.
And
he
see
was
what you got, and they
trying
come back and rob you later.
to. Yeah. You know.
You got to be careful who you let in.
Be
Don't let
careful
anybody in the house.
And if you, let me tell you something, if they tell you that you're having trouble with your Social Security, do not on Facebook or do
Anywhere.
not.
Never give anybody
Do
your number.
not respond.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's what they want to do. Do not give them your bank account number.
Some of those things you don't even want to click reply because then they
No.
have access to your. They somehow, what do they call it? Trojan horse, right?
Right.
You clicked
Yeah.
on their email. You know it's a fake email just by looking at it. You click it and open it up, and somehow you have some sort of Trojan horse that gives a virus to your computer, and then they can access all your stuff.
Yeah, nothing you can do about
No,
it.
it's we're so connected that
Yeah.
it's easy for people to just slip in and
you
steal
know
all
the
your
sad
information.
Part? A lot of it's from another country.
Yeah.
I got. I have my account is with PayPal, and PayPal alerted.
That's good because
me,
they do a
right?
lot of verification.
Right, and these people took $190 out of my account, and I said that's not a lot of money, but it is a lot of money to me or to you. Right?
Yeah, any money.
And if it's
I work hard for
so
money.
I will. Yeah. So PayPal did an excellent job of getting my money back. The bank that I had the account with told me I owed them an extra $150 because of
Fees and-
fees.
yeah.
I go, no, I don't. The money's back in there, and I didn't take the money. Well, I said, you know what? Just close the account.
There you go.
You know, and be aware, folks.
Did they still want the money though?
Yeah, well, guess what? They never got it. I often to go out there and do a pole dance for them, but they wouldn't let me. You know, but folks, believe, and the thing they hit on the elderly people.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. Or they'll hit on, oh, with your son, you know, something. Is it down here in Mexico or in South Carolina? And we need to post bail for him. And one guy was really smart, and they didn't know his son was sitting right there beside him.
Really?
You know, and it's all robotic. Didn't they just pass a law when they could not do that anymore?
That's an old one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't. You're not. If you want to be on the do not call list, you don't get any phone
That's a
calls, but you
joke.
still get them. The robocalls. There's no robocalls. Nobody pays attention to the rules anymore. Like I said, everybody is a free for all. They want to do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it, and everything else doesn't matter.
No. You know, talk about tomorrow. I hope I see
Let's
you
talk
there,
about tomorrow. I got a ticket. I don't know if I'll go because I have to work, but
my friend
I
Bob.
figured I'd get one
Telling
just in
go.
case.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen on the outside. I know
That's
it's going to
what I
happen.
really
I know it's
wanna
going to happen
know.
on the inside,
Yeah.
right? You have all these people on the outside that preach love, but they all exude hate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, my former co-host Lori
Yeah.
and her friend there, and it's supposed to be through love. Just they talk about spiritual God,
Mm-hmm.
but because I don't believe in abortions, will I respect someone having the right to do it? Yeah, not on taxpayers' dollars. But
Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you want to make
it's
that
your
choice,
body,
then that's,
okay.
that's
But,
the other person's body too, because
Yeah. You know,
the
it's
baby's
murder,
the
however-
baby's got a body.
However you look
I,
at
like,
it,
I love
murder.
how they look at that. It's women's health care. It's not women's health care if you're killing something. If
And
you're
now-
killing
Now
somebody.
they can go to extremes.
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
What is coming? Ladies and gentlemen, Nostradamus says, and I'm a messenger from Nostradamus, that's
Yeah.
confirmed, says that man is going to destroy themselves. We are divided.
No, we're destroying ourselves for sure.
This is a civil war, folks.
The air's poison. The food is poison. The medicines are poison. I mean, come on. I'm surprised none of us have all died from cancer yet.
Right. We're born with cancer germ cells.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in it's how we take care of our body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And are you on the city council in Bedford?
Yes, I am.
So,
But that's got nothing to do with the event tomorrow.
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
I just think it'll be interesting to see, like I said.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
The people that'll be out there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I'm going to be having my...
If they're going to have masks over their face because
Of course
they're
they will.
not afraid to hide, right?
No. But, see, this is what always been my big, big gripe.
Incoming call?
Yeah, hit that button right there. Yeah, there you go. Welcome
Hello?
to Norton's Community Corner. Hello?
Hello? Oh,
Call us back. You know, you can either disagree with Phil and I, or you could agree with us.
we
It's up to
can
us.
disagree, and we can still be friends.
Yeah.
That's the way the world's supposed to
That's-
work.
I
I
have
don't
a
have
lot
to
of-
agree with everybody on everything, and we're still friends.
When I have some friends that politically we don't agree, but we're still good friends.
Yeah, you don't have to argue. You don't have to fight. You don't have
Oh, I
to hate
just
each
poke him in the
other.
eye.
Well, that's up to you two, but
Yeah, I just,
it just it really boggles my mind. You have all these groups and all these people that preached all this nonsense prior to the last election, and now they're all losing their minds, and they're violent, and they're dangerous, and they're
What are they going to do when
I-
and Trump gets reelected? We already know he is.
it doesn't look like there's a strong contender. It looks like the
They play with each other.
well, they fight with each other, and then it just shows even more how unstable they are. The positions that they have, it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that they say is not what they do. It's like everything they say is a lie, just get you to believe what they want you to follow them on or give them their vote. But none of the things that they do are actually the things that they say.
I think Bernie Sanders is one of the loosest cannons I've ever heard of.
I can't believe that he had the election stolen from him, during the last primary, and then just quietly said nothing about it.
He would have won too.
He probably could have. Well, I know he would have won the nomination if they
Yeah,
didn't.
that's what I mean.
If they
He
didn't,
wouldn't
if
beat
they
Trump, but
didn't
he would've
lie,
won that.
cheat, and steal it away from him, that should show you what kind of group you have.
Well, look at what happened to Epstein.
Epstein.
I might not be pronouncing his name right. The one they found that committed suicide in the jail.
Oh,
The
that
child
guy.
thing,
Yeah. How do you commit suicide in a prison when you're on suicide watch?
Yeah.
That seems
Well,
really,
they said-
really suspicious.
One of the guys said, "Well, we were told to watch him die."
That's not what suicide watch means.
No.
Suicide watch means keep this guy
But does
alive.
that mean that when I was a nurse for
Yeah,
32
Epstein's-
years...
Epstein, yeah.
So that means I was a nurse for 32 years, and we had people on the suicide watch, on social watch.
I'm supposed to watch you commit suicide? That's not there.
yeah,
Right? That's
yeah,
not the
that's what theory
definition
I'm
of
supposed to do.
suicide
Or
watch.
am I supposed to go and say you really don't want to
That's
do
that. I tell you, is just there's some serious nonsense going on there, right?
Yeah.
And so what did they do? They suspended the two guards,
Right.
so they're going to get paid
Of
to
course.
be on vacation until they investigate. And the
That's
warden
not
was
right.
transferred to another facility. So nobody's going to be held accountable. There's also no accountability in this society anymore. There's no responsibility. There's no accountability. It's,
Well,
it's-
if you're in the right foundation, you can get paid.
well, if you're rich, you could do whatever you want, right?
yeah,
If you know the right people, you have the right political connections, the right power, you can say and do and get away with pretty much anything.
right.
I look at the Department of Justice, the FBI. I cannot believe that any of these people have not been fired, put in jail. I'm hoping that, once they do their other investigation of their investigations, they actually start holding some people accountable, right? What happened to Anthony Weiner, the congressman from New York,
Yeah.
that they had all this stuff on his computer? I don't hear anything about him anymore. Is he in jail? Is he not in jail?
he's
What
out of
about his
jail.
wife?
Yeah.
Right? They shared a computer. So some of those things that they were sending
Well,
that they
she
said
wrote
they
a
didn't
book on
have
it.
were on his.
She wrote a book on it.
How are these people not in prison?
Yeah.
But you or I,
We'd be in prison.
we'd be in prison, right? Because we don't have any. We're not rich. We're not politically powerful. We're not connected to the powers that be. We're not in a U.S. government agency that if you do something that horribly wrong. I mean, James Comey alone, right? He admitted on every TV show that he went on that he leaked information. That's a federal crime, prosecutable. Nothing. Not even a slap on the wrist.
I cannot stay and watch The View. Have you ever watched?
No, I can't watch The View.
Talk about
John McCain's daughter turns my stomach. I cannot believe this guy is so idolized. And I was born and raised in Arizona. I'm from that area. But John McCain was a senator as long as I've been alive. There's the problem with our country. You can't have a president for more than 2 terms. Why should you have a senator for
Well,
more
look at
than
Nancy
2
Pelosi.
terms? Again, another
Chuck
person who's
Schumer,
been
yeah.
there most of my life. These people are not supposed to be there that long.
And Martha, what's her name? Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters. You can
tells them to
have
kill the white people.
you can have a deck of playing cards of all the people that have been in Congress and Senate longer than they're supposed to have been, and how do they get rich being there is the question, right? You start out with a salary of what is it, $150,000 a year? You're there as long as them. You're a billionaire. They don't want fences. They don't want borders. But you ever go near their houses? Armed guards and fences. there goes back to they'll tell you one thing, which is a lie, and then they want to do something else. Nobody can have guns, but they all walk around with armed security guards.
Well, let's go to Chicago.
Chicago is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a gun-free city, right?
It's the most restrictive gun Second Amendment area in the United States. It's one of the highest murder rates. Baltimore also, right?
Right.
The places that you're not allowed to have a gun as a law-abiding citizen are the places where the law-abiding citizens die in droves. That should tell you right there that never give up your Second Amendment right.
And like the two senators that mysteriously died, one born in Oklahoma and the other one's in. And then,
the state senators?
No, I think they might have been state. They were going to testify against Clinton down there.
State senators.
Right.
Yeah. If it was a U.S. senator, that'd be a whole bigger can of worms. Like Judge Antonin Scalia.
Yeah.
Somehow mysteriously died of natural causes or a heart attack in Texas with his head under a pillow.
Right.
Nobody wanted to do an autopsy on him.
Right.
There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on that nobody ever gets to the bottom of or cares to because it might affect their little.
If you have any comments for Phil and I, give us a call at 640-3091. Okay, we'll be happy if you disagree with us.
Yeah,
that's okay. I love a good. Do you like a good argument? I do.
It's great because then you get to also see the points of view from the other side that you weren't necessarily considering. I might think, this is a shiny deck of cards. You actually would be able to tell me what's inside of it because you see the other side of it.
Right.
I don't know that. I just see what I see. You see what you see, but you also have other information that I don't. So I love a good argument because they'll bring out the things that you haven't seen, the facts, if they have facts, or they're just talking
I've
smack.
actually invited both candidate, what's her name, Victoria
Sullivan,
and wonderful Mayor Joyce Craig to come on and debate with me. I don't get a response back.
You won't.
No.
Victoria might come on because she's not the mayor. Usually the person that already has the position, it's not in their best interest to come and discuss things further than what they're comfortable with, like
Ross
campaigning
Carroll's
on.
coming
Oh, good.
I like Ross.
I like Ross. Yeah. Ross is a Marine, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Makes me like him more. I love people that join the Marines.
I
got a special. Keith Hirschman?
It's easier to get the
is.
Republicans on than it is the Democrats.
Yeah. Well, because you're not part of their Kool-Aid drinking group.
Right.
You don't do or say the things that they want you to do or say, so they don't want to be associated with you because they'll think you're attacking them or that you're setting them up in some way. They only like attacking you.
Right. Anybody out there that's a Democrat and you don't agree with what we're talking about, give us a call. Tell us you don't agree with it.
Tell me why.
Make sure you have a good answer. Don't go, no name calling. I love it because they can't. I am a racist. I am.
Yeah.
And the gay community has disowned me.
Have they?
Yeah. I'm so heartbroken.
Oh, is that because you're not a Democrat?
Right. And because I don't agree with hanging the flag up hanging a Gay Pride Day over the American flag.
Well, the American flag has to be on top. If you want to hang a gay flag, pride flag under it, then that's saying
go for it. But they would do it over at the
Yeah, that's not the way it works. We live in the United States. That's the top. If you don't like it, then like some people say, if you don't like living in here, you're free to move.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's supposed to be moving to Canada.
They're all supposed to be moving. None of them
What
have
happened?
moved. They all like to talk, but they don't like to do, right?
Yeah. I am so disappointed that they're all talking.
Whoopi Goldberg's still here.
Yeah.
Joy Behar.
Yeah. Oh, I can't stand that one.
Well, I don't watch The View, but like I said, they just...
Well, look at remember Ted Danson, right?
Ted Danson?
Whoopi Goldberg's boyfriend or whatever.
I think they were together at one point. Yeah. I don't know if they're still
he's
together.
He's dressed like Al Jolson, and she thought it was...
Oh, yeah, he was in blackface.
He was in blackface.
Yeah.
And they thought, now, if you do it, no, come on.
So you know the trend.
Yeah.
If it's something that they're offended by, it's offensive. If it's something that you're offended by, you're a racist.
Right.
You're a bigot.
Right.
You're a homophobe. You're this, you're that. Because it's not their viewpoint.
Right, yeah.
If it's not their viewpoint, they can attack you in every which way. They're not...
And they look dumb.
Well, I think they make themselves look ludicrous.
Right. That's what I put on a week ago. I had my friend Apollo, he's from Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I had my two friends from Spain. I had my friend from Argentina.
Oh, wow.
And I had my two other friends from...
I think we got one.
Yep. Hello, welcome to North Community Corner.
Hi, this Norm?
Yep.
Oh, okay, Norm. the reason, because I'm looking at the TV and I see you still talking to the other guy.
Oh, Phil? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, this is Phil.
No, there's something wrong. No, I just called because my granddaughter's here, and she tried to call you 3 times and couldn't get through. So
we answered that. No one came through. I apologize.
Put her on.
Yeah, we're on. Go ahead. Put your granddaughter on.
No.
No.
Well, she just left. She had to leave.
Aw.
But, no, she tried to call 3 times.
What did she want to talk about?
The readings.
She wanted to know what kind of career she was going to end up with.
Okay. Well, one of the things I see about her, yeah, and if she comes back, have her call me at my house at area code 603-289-4789.
I've got your number.
Yeah.
I called you. I came by your house once before.
Yeah. Okay. As I thought, have her call me. We'll talk to her. Okay.
Sure, I'll call you.
Yeah. Please.
And I'd ask you a question, but I can't think of anything to ask.
Well, that's okay.
What do you think about the President of the United States coming to Manchester, New Hampshire tomorrow?
I can't stand. I really and truly am revolted. I wish he would just stay away from New Hampshire and especially Manchester.
Can you let us know why?
Oh, his policies are horrendous. I mean, what he's doing to the immigrants and the children. And
What is he doing differently than any president before him has done?
No other president has taken immigrants, kept them in cages, wire fences.
Actually, that's not true. Obama started that.
Well, it's been
Obama didn't.
It's been for a few presidents. It's not just
Right.
President Obama. So,
It's
but
been done.
what do you propose happen at the border when people show up here unannounced without a visa or an application for refugee status, with children that we don't know are theirs?
They turned around.
They're more than welcome to leave. Nobody is required to stay in the detention center.
Yeah.
The country. They're
Yeah.
not allowed in the border. Over
Right.
the border.
But they are. They come in and then they decide to stay in the detention center. They're more than welcome to turn back to Mexico. We're not holding these people against their
Trump
will.
wants the legal immigrants in here.
Right. So let me ask you this: if it was any other president, would you be happy to have the president of the United States come to visit Manchester?
Probably.
See, it's our president. I mean, a lot of the policies.
No, he's a liar. He is the worst president we have ever had. He's also like, he doesn't know what he is doing. He's not an educated man. He has no clue anything about foreign policy or anything like that.
He got China to buy rice from us. I'd say that's a pretty good score.
Pick a cabinet. I mean, how many people has he hired and fired? And
Yeah.
The other thing is he's been now.
Do you keep somebody if you think they're incompetent, or do you fire them? You think you hired the best people, and if they turn out to not be the best, do you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can't.
Trump never.
Why can't he hire competent people in the first place? Why is he continually hiring incompetent people?
Well, I think in the beginning he hired a lot of people that were already involved in the political arena because he is not. And they quickly turned out to be people that he realized were not the right people to hire because they're too involved in the political arena.
He admitted that he's not a politician.
The guy is a moron. End of
Well,
story.
okay.
He's an incompetent person.
Yeah.
Who
would in the Democratic Party?
There's a good one. There's a good one.
Yeah, who in the Democratic Party do you think is the strongest candidate to run against Trump?
I really am not sure. I like 4 or 5 people that are candidates right now, and I haven't even made up my mind as to which one I'm going to vote for. But I really think any candidate that would run, that would run against Trump would be more competent than Trump. So it doesn't matter which.
See, that's what I love. That's why I wanted. I'm glad you called in.
President than Trump is now.
You can be more co-host more than me more often,
What do you think of Joe Biden?
I like him as a person. I think he's kind of
safe answer.
Done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he likes little girls' hair.
Well, he likes to get a little too involved in people's personal space. which if it were anybody else, they would be screaming left and right that you can't hug somebody or kiss somebody that way.
Yeah.
But he's allowed to get away with it. So there's the double
I
standard
think,
I
I think
have
Bernie
a problem
Sanders
with.
is Arthur Walker.
Well, Bernie Sanders, he's never really had a job other than Congress and Senate, and he's got many houses, and he's funny enough, he doesn't have the millions and millions of dollars the other folks have.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Listen, I was going to say that I wasn't planning on voting. Hopefully, he wouldn't win the nomination because I'm afraid he'd drop dead in
I like that. I am so glad you called in. Okay.
You're not afraid of the socialism as much as you are his age.
Oh, absolutely.
Now
the socialism, I'm not a super liberal. I'm what you would say a moderate.
Okay.
And,
the blue dog Democrat, right?
No, I don't think most of his policies would have gone through anyway.
No.
It's like maybe in 20 years, society will be ready for all those changes, but they wouldn't go through at this point in time.
Okay, hon, we're going to let you go. We got another caller coming in. Thanks for calling. Have her call me at my house, okay? Yeah. Bye-bye.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. You know, the thing that... but the one thing that as I think about it, Trump definitely going to get reelected. We already know that.
I think the way things are going,
the sad part is I don't see him filling his full term due to health reasons.
You think health reasons, like somebody shoots him?
No. We got another call. Welcome to Norm's Community Corner.
Hey, Norm. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
All right. Hey, Norm.
Yeah.
How'd you get Dan Aykroyd to come on the show?
I love that guy.
Who's Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd.
Well, I can try.
Conehead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I can try.
He's a good actor. I like him. Thank you.
No, you got Dan Aykroyd on the show right now. Phil Greazzo looks just like Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a good comparison.
I
like Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, okay.
He's been in a lot of good movies. He's a really
good. Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Do you have a twin brother that I wasn't aware of?
No, he wasn't. He was one of the Blues Brothers too, wasn't he?
Right. Oh, I love him in the Blues Brothers.
He's done some.
Do you think he makes a good Dan Aykroyd?
No, I think he's trying to tease me and make fun of me, but that's okay because it doesn't bother me.
We got broad
shoulders. I mean it in a good way. He's a celebrity.
Oh well, thank you.
I always thought Phil Greazzo looked like Dan Aykroyd. I mean that as a compliment.
Well, thank you.
Listen, what is your prediction for tomorrow? I want to ask both of you. You said some violence going down tomorrow to Trump.
I don't really see a lot of violence.
Well, Norm would know the predictions. He would be able to see that. My own thoughts are, given the climate of what happens around this country lately, everybody that doesn't like Donald Trump seems to be, the Antifas and all the other folks that you look at their rallies and they're hitting people with bottles and throwing the concrete milkshakes in their faces. And
I'm hoping that it happens to me.
Well, I'm hoping that it doesn't happen, and I'm hoping that there's actually some semblance of society out there that
I think the police are going to do a hell of a job.
I think they're going to have to, or it's going to look real bad for them.
Yeah, and I think that Joe Biden actually decided, they said he did it months before, but I don't believe it, that he is there to incur and incite rioting.
That's what they say. So how is that acceptable?
It's not.
It's not acceptable. If anybody else says it, then,
I think there's going to be a few skirmishes here, but I don't see anything really deadly.
Are you coming out to the rally tomorrow?
I'm going to be there. Yeah, I'm going to try and get in using my press credentials from the station.
Oh, there you go.
See if they work. I don't know because I held on to them.
Yeah, I'll go. I think about going there in my blue miniskirt and my white top and my high heels.
Have you gone to get one of the tickets?
No, I don't bother. I'm not bothered.
Oh, okay.
With the ticket. I used my press credentials in 2016. I got in through the back.
Oh, good.
And we'll try that again. If I can't get in, because it's going to be a zoo.
I think it'd be probably tighter security because now it's an actual president rather than a candidate. But good luck to you.
Yeah.
Dude, I found what's pretty awesome that people that are like President Trump people, I didn't realize they don't charge for the extra security. They don't charge their campaign. The city doesn't send them a bill.
No, the city absorbs the cost when anybody of that level decides to visit.
Do you think they should?
It's hard to say. I mean, if you look at it, it comes out of one pocket or the other, right? The president is paid by us. The security that he has is paid by us. The local officials, the local officers, the local sheriff's office, they're paid by us. So either way, we're paying for it.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think that they should, any of the, like the campaign people come in, or the presses for...
Yeah, Norm, he's the president and all, so I don't get too worked up about that. Listen, I want to bounce something off both of you if I could.
Okay, please. Sure.
I am pulling for Joe Biden all the way to get the Democratic nomination. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that contest?
I think it would be very hilarious.
It would be the biggest joke of the century.
Well, each side looks at the other one as a fool, correct? So to have them both debating each other, it would just be comedy gold.
He should come on my show with you and I.
Bring him on.
Hey, you want to come on my show?
Someday I will. Yeah, someday, Norm, definitely.
Okay.
All right, listen, I'm going to go. I'm going to give someone else a chance. It's good talking
all right.
to you both.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Dr. Detroit.
Bye-bye now. Yeah, we'll hit that button. Who is that?
I thought you knew. Did the caller identify themselves? We didn't ask.
I forgot to ask. That's okay.
Well, he seems to know you, so.
Yeah, that's okay. It sounds like my friend.
It'll come to you.
Probably. Oh yeah, right? That's what a psychic's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Right.
Of course, you know I'm going to hell because I'm a psychic, right?
Well.
And I've been married 4 times, and my lifestyle.
Why are you going to hell?
Because I don't follow the Christianity way.
Listen.
Hell is here.
What do you mean by the Christianity way?
All these so-called born-again Christians.
Yeah.
Have all told me because of my lifestyle I'm going to hell. So,
well, that's not true.
No, I don't believe in it. I believe this is hell.
Well, this could be hell because it seems like it a lot of times. But regardless of that, you wouldn't go to hell if you, at the time of your judgment, ask for forgiveness. That's what Jesus' whole message is.
Right.
Ask and you shall receive, right?
I ask for money when I don't receive it.
If you can forgive, you can be forgiven. Right. If you can't forgive other people, how can God forgive you?
Yeah. You know, I don't. You know, I don't know, but I have never ever met anybody that I hate or dislike.
Yeah, there's some people.
You know, I can honestly say it's their actions I don't like.
Okay. That's one way to look at it.
You know, can I actually? I have sat down with a lot of things from my past up to today. I've written a lot of books about that high forgiveness because I cannot talk to other people about forgiving if I don't practice what I tell other people.
That's it. So whenever those born-again Christians tell you that you're going to hell, tell them that right there, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. When my little girl died, she was 36 hours old, they told me that I lived such a sinful life that I was going to go to hell. And Gary and I talked about Gary Hopper. You know Gary,
Yeah,
right?
I know Gary.
He should be coming on in a little while. He and I talked about that, actually. And I like to, you know, I don't have to agree with the politicians, and I never will. There's always going to be something that...
You don't have to agree with anybody on anything, but you can still be civil.
We can still be friends.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to fight about it. You don't have to argue. It doesn't come to fist
By the way, folks, we had a friend in Bedford. He gave me a black eye. He said, I don't like what you're talking about. And he punked me.
And we've gotten past it.
Right, you know. But it's so sad that people don't.
Yeah, people actually do that. They're friends for years, and they get in a discussion over
my co-host,
some ridiculous political item, and they'll turn on you.
Lori, I was never so heartbroken, Phil, as to have her tell me that I was a bigot and a racist.
Yeah.
She actually did it one day before I came on my show, right?
That means that she's the bigot and the racist, right?
Yeah. And then she preaches all this love stuff.
Yeah. That's my point.
Yeah. And Kevin Ross, so I'm going to ask Kevin Ross and me, they're having a psychic event in September. So I'm going to say, now, since I'm a Trump lover, do I have the right to come to do it?
I had to check in case it's an emergency, but put that out there.
I have to, can I come to your event? And they said no.
So where's the inclusion? We're supposed to be an inclusive society, except for you. You were allowed to exclude. That tells you right there. They're not true to their nature.
Nope. A true spiritualist.
Deceitful.
To me, a true spiritualist is you love everybody without name calling.
And you know that the argument has gone against them. They have to resort to calling you names, and they can no longer deal in facts.
Yeah.
Right?
Shuffle those, my young man.
What do you got here? Are we playing poker now?
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
gamble because I lose every time.
Oh, me too.
I lose all my
I was
money.
going to make you learn purposely.
When I'm not gambling, I do pretty good at playing cards.
Well, I was going to play strip poker, but that's all
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Shuffle those. We're going to do a quick reading.
I'm gonna shuffle them.
Yeah.
Like shuffle them?
Yeah. We're going to do a quick 5-minute or 10-minute reading, whatever it takes.
Oh yeah. For who?
For you.
Oh, I don't need that. I like,
okay, we'll put it away then.
I like it to be a mystery.
Oh, okay.
Right? I like life to be a.
Okay. Put it back
Wow,
on.
that happened. No, go ahead. You want?
No,
No. I've dealt the cards.
Yeah, but
you pick them.
Let me finish this. If people want to have their life as a mystery, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't have the right to do it, so we're going to respect your right.
No.
I'll give you.
All right, let me
give me 3
reshuffle
cards.
them again on a new.
Okay.
Because then that way
I don't
we won't have.
The one thing I won't tell you is there's a lot more success coming to you.
I like these cards.
They're from Jamaica. Bahamas.
Can you see the reflection there?
Yeah.
It's got a nice little pattern to it.
I do see you actually running for state rep again.
Oh yeah, I'll put my name on for state rep. I put my name on all the time.
Yeah. You like politics.
I don't like politics, Norm, and that's why I get involved. Because if you don't get involved, the people that
That's
are
what I'm
horrible
saying, yeah,
people get
yeah,
elected,
yeah.
and then they try to control your life.
Yeah.
I like to be able to sit at the table, even if it's a room full of people that are voting the opposite direction, and I'm the only one that says no, don't do that. I want to be able to sit at the table and look at them and say, why are you going to waste my money on this, that, or the other thing? Please tell me.
What's
and
her
then
name?
it's harder for them to do it when they have to look you in the eye.
Heidi Hopper?
Hammer.
Hammer. She don't like me.
Oh,
And
she don't
that's
like
okay.
me either.
She says to me, "You didn't vote, so you can't say anything." I said, "Oh yes, I can because
pay
I was a
taxes.
DR. I pay,
pay
even though I don't, I still pay taxes out of my rent."
You should vote because then people like Heidi
I
Hammer
know.
get elected.
Yeah, and they're not gonna. She's not gonna. If I have, I'm not even running against her.
You should.
You know, take out 3 cards. We'll
3
go
cards?
quickly. Yeah.
Oh, now we're going to play 3-card Monte.
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit out of each. There we go.
Are you in a relationship right now?
Yeah,
It's a strong relationship, isn't it?
I think so.
You two are different as night and day, though.
You got that right.
Okay, but conclusively, it works.
It does work.
Okay.
It's
You've been together quite a while.
yeah,
Okay, and I actually see a few more years.
a few more years.
So, or do you want to say a lot more?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
whatever you say it is.
There's no time limit.
Okay.
Okay. I also will tell you that you're going to be around for a long, long time.
So I have to suffer through hell for a long time.
That's right. You're going to be like 92 to 97 years old.
Oh my lord.
Okay. But I don't see you in dementia.
No, that's good.
Okay.
You know the good thing about dementia is you meet new people every day.
Yeah. And you never remember, and that's okay. I used to love
It's a
people
horrible
with
thing,
dementia.
but
Yeah.
that people
No,
go
they're
through.
happy in their own little reality.
They don't. Well, I think that in some respects they are happy because they don't have to deal with the things that would make them so manic as what they've become. It just goes away.
When I was a nurse, I worked with my specialty went to dementia and all,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved working with them because some of the things that if you listen to them, there's always a story to their background.
Mm-hmm. And they're not trying to hide anything,
No.
right? They're
No.
just they're genuine. They're
Yeah.
who they
Yeah.
are because there's no way for them to be
Right.
deceitful.
And that's like mentally challenged people. We should call retarded or whatever. They're the same way. They don't know. They either like you or they don't.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
don't mind the mentally challenged change over retarded. Right? Retarded
Yeah.
seemed like kind of a bad name.
Right, yeah.
Right? It's
Oh, I like the word
kind of
mentally challenged,
kind of
yeah.
like demeaning them.
The relationship that you're in, you're going to be in, it's really a very unique relationship, but it works for both of you. Don't ever close the door to communication.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can't stand it when we have an issue and she won't talk to me.
Oh,
right?
isn't
That
that-
makes it worse.
Yeah. That's like one night when Scott and I had this bad dream, and I
Yeah.
said to him, I walked into, "You're going to leave me, I know you." He just looks at me and turns over and goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
So that,
Right.
But, the one thing about the two of you are that you're going to do an awful lot more traveling.
Oh, good, because we haven't done it in a while.
Okay, you got to go. And she supports whatever you do.
She does.
And just like you support whatever she does.
I do. You have to live your lives. If you don't, then you're just you're holding each other back.
Yeah. And what if I told you I could see her running into some kind of political field?
Oh, I hope not. When you say we're night and day, we're night and day politically, and other ways too. But yeah, I would not want to see her
Don't be surprised.
be elected to something.
Don't be surprised.
I mean, she's smart. I don't think that she would be
She has a very
susceptible
strict-
to the brainwashing or
no.
the bullying or the
She has a
strong arming
mind
to
of
go
her
one
own.
way or another. She
Yeah.
definitely has a mind of her own. So
And
maybe
you
it
know
would
what?
be a good thing.
You two, it would be great because you two have friendly debates, right?
Sure. We'll call it friendly debates. Yeah.
But one thing I'm also looking at you too. You work for yourself?
I do.
Okay. You're going to be really, really busy?
I'm very busy. I've got 3 or 4 different companies running right now, and none of them
You
are
got 2
like,
more coming.
2 more? Okay, that's good.
You're a workaholic.
I'll tell you and whoever cares to listen, try to start a business. It's not easy. If there's not a job that you can find, and this is kind of the way that my family has operated since I can remember, if there's not a job that you can find, do something that you like to do and turn it into your own business. Then find another business that you can start with somebody else that they can run that you keep a piece of. You do that a bunch of times and you have a little piece of a couple different businesses, and you can have income without having to stress and work on other things, because the other person is doing 75% of the work and you're making 25% by doing nothing but helping them get started.
Yeah. Well, that's like
and
my
you're creating
business.
jobs.
Yeah. Like my job. Okay, I mean, it's a business. I'm registered with the state. I have to pay that state tax and all that other,
You can't do anything unless you have their permission, right?
And you know what the thing is? My business is really, this year, and last year, this year has really been kicking off.
Good.
And I'm really happy. Word of mouth is the best reputation you can have.
Definitely.
It can either make you or you can spend $100,000, but one person can destroy you.
One person says bad things that aren't true, or had a bad experience with you one day. That's very negative.
Yeah. Well, I had a lady that would come in for a reading, she panicked and all. Then she told the cops I tried to grab her. They go, "What?" And I showed the cop what I put on the email about her. I'm sorry, I said, even though you didn't come in, and that you still have to pay, because I didn't, So she wouldn't run down the street, said that, told them.
Yeah.
Luckily, I showed the police, but I could just see it now. Local psychic can't predict his own future or something like that.
Yeah, well, ironically, what people don't know out there is that you can't predict your own future. It doesn't work on yourself.
No. I love it when these people that they turn the card over. Oh, I can't go out because I'm having a bad day.
That's not how it works.
No. The first thing I never do is read my family members or my close friends of mine. Okay. One other thing, you own your own house, right?
I do.
Are you ready to sell it? Because you're a restless spirit.
I move.
Yeah. And I do see you offering a good income for that, but I don't see you moving out of Bedford.
Then I guess I'm not selling my house.
No, you're going to be buying another house in that area.
I've got a property where I could build another house on the property. The problem is when you live in a place like Bedford, even though they ironically have a lower tax rate than Manchester.
Really?
They have. People don't think that that's the case. They go, "Oh, I can't afford to live in Bedford." The reason that you can't afford to live in Bedford for most people is the housing cost too much. But if you buy a fixer-upper like I do, that's one of my businesses, is I buy an old house and I fix it up. You buy the least expensive house in the town, you can now live in Bedford, and your taxes are lower. When I lived in Manchester, I had a 3-unit building, no parking, no yard. My taxes were almost $7,000 a year.
Wow.
I have a single-family home in Bedford with an acre of land, and my taxes are under $4,000 a year.
Welcome to Manchester.
I don't have to listen to the sirens all day. I don't have people stealing out of my car every week. My quality of life is so much more tranquil and so much more...
And the sad part, it's getting worse.
Unfortunately, it is. And I love Manchester. My Manchester has my heart, but it's not being taken care of well, unfortunately.
One of the things I do see with you is, you think you're busy now, young man?
Really?
You're going to be a lot busier.
Yeah, great.
Okay. You're going to have to find time to... You're a workaholic.
I don't know if I'm a workaholic. I like to not work, but if you don't work, you're not going to have stuff. Right? I like to sit and relax, but if you're not working, you're not making money, you're not eating, you're not living in a house, you're living in a box, and you're begging for money on the corner.
Yeah. And that's the one thing about you and I is that being not saying political views and a lot of things, we know that we have to work. I don't want anything handed to me. I had this one guy, he used to be a friend of mine, he was a Democrat, he said, "Well, you're living pretty well." And I said, "Okay." I said, "But he's getting social, I'm retired, getting Social Security, but I have to work out a living."
You had to pay to get that Social Security. That wasn't free.
No. And he said that.
But they wanted, the left want to give Social Security to illegal immigrants.
Right.
How do you get Social Security if you're an illegal immigrant? You don't even have a Social Security number. How's that going to work? I'm just going to start giving you money because you came here?
You and I do read that. Also, these young kids who have never worked in their life and they get Social Security because they might have a bad back or they've been in jail or they're a drug addict or whatever. and it comes out of our funds.
It does.
Okay,
It does.
and I resent that.
We need to have people that are working. We need to have people that are responsible for themselves, that can maintain their own lives.
If people need Social Security disability, I don't have a problem with it.
If you're disabled, I'm more than willing to try to figure out a way to help you.
You know, like Scott won
If you're
his
just lazy
case,
and don't want to work, then I'm not interested
Scott
in
won his
helping.
case. His breathing's only 40%.
Yeah.
And he won his case, and we're still waiting for the money. We had to get a new lawyer because, well, I think because we're not Obama fans, you know. But that's okay. But you know what? In the end, everything works out. I make enough money to support all of it, and I'm happy with that. Do I ever want to get rich? No. I am thinking about moving on the outskirts of Manchester.
Yeah.
You know.
I tell you, every day I hear sirens. Every day it's just the same thing.
Yeah.
I got tired of it. That's not why I left, but it's why I didn't come back.
Right. But I also see you going out toward Colorado. I don't know what's in Colorado, but I see you doing maybe a nice home out, you know, like a winter home or a summer home out in that area. Do you like to ski?
I like to snowboard. I used to ski. Snowboarding is a lot easier.
Yeah. I actually stayed at John Denver's cottage.
Really?
Yeah.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah. It was expensive.
Was it?
But I didn't pay for it.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm too pretty. You know? But I do see this is your year for a lot more. Your wife is a hard one. I'm going to call you your wife. Okay.
You can call her my wife.
Okay.
She calls her my wife.
Okay. You know.
She's my wife.
Only the appreciate it or the New Hampshire wants you to say you're married. You know.
Well, here's my thing, and when I was in the legislature as a Republican, we are the ones that changed the law in the state of New Hampshire that you can have gay marriage. Correct? Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're gay and you get married, but why does anybody have to ask the state permission to marry the person that they love? That's the approach that we took.
Right.
Right.
You know.
If you're for small limited government, why is the government telling you who you can and cannot marry? That's none of our business. Right. That's your business. That's anybody else's business who wants to marry a man or a woman. That's their choice. But you can't say man or woman now, can you?
No. That's politically incorrect.
But that's the way that I look at it.
Right.
So yeah, you can call her my wife. It's fine. But I don't think that I need to approach the state to ask for permission to marry somebody that I love.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
And you know, and the thing is, when you decide to really get legally married, they would cut my income in half.
There's another good example of what's wrong with government being involved in your life, right? As soon as you try to build a family, the government starts to stack the deck against you. Why is that? Aren't they supposed to be encouraging family? I think that's what's helping destroy the fabric of our society, right? People will not get married on purpose. One person will take whatever benefits they can get, and the other person will still be in the same household, but they're not married, so that it's not recognized that they're both still together.
So friends of mine, they had been together for like 40 years, and she died because they didn't have a will. Okay, her family came in and swooped everything away from them.
Yeah.
Everything. If you're not going to get married, put a will out there. Put that like if you and your wife,
married or not, just even if you're just a single person, you should have a will. I had a really dear friend of mine that I've known for most of my life recently passed. Didn't have a will. The girlfriend that he's with, she has all of his stuff.
Well, the guy remember Howie?
Howie Howe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had
right?
the ice cream man.
The ice cream man. No, maybe we're talking about somebody else.
Yeah. He was a little short guy, wore glasses. He lived with this woman. Brandon, you know Howie's last name? McCarthy, that's right.
Howie McCarthy. Yeah. Oh, Howard.
Yeah, Howard.
Yeah, he used to come to City Hall and take the 3 minutes. He was a really interesting guy.
He used to come on my show.
Yeah, Howard McCarthy.
Right.
I didn't know him by Howie, so that's why I was.
Howie. He said to me one day, he said, "If I'm coming on your show, because I love having him come on, I demand 15 minutes." And I looked over the side. I said, "You got it."
Yeah, he was quite the character.
I liked him. He brought a lot of joy to my show.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember they told him he could not sing anymore at the Alderman meetings.
I loved it.
Yeah. But
sing away. You got your 3 minutes. You do whatever you want with your 3 minutes. You want to put on Broadway? Go for it.
Yeah. I think that they should have a time when you can talk back and ask questions, have them answer you back.
I would like a back and forth.
You know. we know Glen's not going to win, right?
Hey, anybody.
get
Here's
2,000?
if you work very hard, you
Yeah.
can win.
Yeah.
But he can't work as hard as the other folks because he has to work and doesn't have a team.
And not only that, but there's a lot of people like Joe Kilibata that really slams him all the time.
Let's not go there.
You know, but I mean the thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's so bad, you know, like when you see all these candidates, like the Democratic candidates, it's so sad that they have to, like, I couldn't even handle watching that last.
I don't watch them.
I
I don't
try to watch
watch the ones on either side. To be honest with you, the two-party system.
Right. So,
Well, you've got two people.
yeah.
Right, and it's always one or the other. Nothing ever changes. They're always worried about trying to stop the other group from getting what it wants because they want what they want, and vice versa. That nothing ever gets done, and they only work in their own interest. They don't do anything for us.
But when they started slamming each other, and they were getting on, what was it, Bernie and Joe Biden and
Were
Bernie
they?
Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked bad. I had to change it. You cannot blame the parties. You have to blame the people who are in the parties.
And the people voting for them.
Right.
If you
And-
keep
yeah,
voting
and
for
you.
people that
Yeah. Like that lady, what she said, she wanted Joe Biden, you know. That's her choice.
That is her
Welcome
choice.
to America.
Well, actually, no. She said she didn't want Joe Biden.
Oh, she didn't want. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was the other caller that
Oh,
wanted
that's the
Joe
other caller.
Biden,
Right.
the gentleman that called,
Right.
because he would love to see a debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. That would be
That would be really
that would be great.
tremendous.
That'd be
yeah.
great because I would love to see
Donald
Donald
Trump
Trump
would
tear
need
into
him
Joe
alive.
Biden. Joe Biden is another career politician.
Yeah.
So anytime he says we need to do this, that, or the other thing, he's been there for 40 years. He should have already done this, that, and the other thing, but he hasn't. So what's going to make it any different?
Well,
if he
that's why
becomes
Bernie
president?
Sanders has been, what, a governor? And how many years in the office?
He's been Senate and Congress for as long as I can remember.
Nancy Pelosi, 28 years. Maxine Waters.
They've all been there a lifetime, and that is the abuse of power, right?
Right. And so, folks, it is your fault.
Keep voting for those people.
If you
See
keep
what you
voting,
get.
I don't care what state you're in or what country you're in, and if you don't like, or even an alderman like Dan O'Neill, he's been
Dan
on-
O'Neill's been there for a long time. I'm surprised he doesn't run for mayor. He's been there so long. He's known well enough through the city, but he's got a good spot that he can stay in forever. Why leave?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you didn't get to that last card. What was,
Oh,
what
that was a Jack of Diamonds. Which now Jack of Diamonds is actually telling me, like, you know how I told you that you're going to be extremely busy?
Yeah.
Jack of Diamonds is showing me how busy you're really going to be.
Oh, no.
You're going to require 4 hours of sleep. 7 days.
That's never going to work for me. 4
Okay.
hours of sleep will never happen.
But when you sleep,
Yeah.
you can really sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when everything that you do as a very successfully or like aggressively. Like when you clean your house, we'll say you have to do it until it's all done. And
Yeah, I get that kind of.
Yes, you're hypoglycemic. You're just off of diabetes. So
Oh, okay.
Everything you do, you have to do compulsively.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like when you need your sleep, nobody can wake you up.
It gets very annoying if somebody's waking
Right.
you up.
And when you're concentrating on your jobs, if somebody interrupts it.
I'll give you that one because people say, "Oh, Phil, you're grumpy." It's like I'm not grumpy. I'm trying to do something. You
Right.
keep bothering me. You keep interrupting me. You keep stopping me. That's why I do a lot of work that I do. I do it on my own. When you have somebody working with you, you have to stop and show them what to do, or you have to
And you
do
don't
it
have
for
the
them.
patience.
And I have the patience. The thing is that I don't have the time, like you're
Right,
saying, right?
right.
So if I need somebody to help me build a wall, if they don't know how to build the wall, that I can say go over there and build the wall, then I'm basically over there helping them do it or doing it for them, showing them how to do it, which means that I should have just done it myself in the first
Right,
place
right.
and not had that person that I just paid to watch me build a wall.
And now, are you talking about the Mexican wall?
We could talk about the Mexican wall. You know what the
They said
law
build
is?
a wall.
Do you know what the law is if you go into Mexico illegally?
You get shot.
10 years in prison.
Why can't we do that here?
Well, if you do that here, you're a racist.
Right.
But Mexico, that's their law. You remember what was the Marine's name that wandered across the border
Right,
in the Arizona desert? They kept him in prison. Guess who paid to get him out?
Trump.
Donald Trump.
Look at all these medals that Donald Trump is giving to these veterans.
He's giving to people that actually earn them, not just
Right.
because they're a TV show host.
Right.
Right?
Right. And look at the one that that he freed in that country. Was it a newspaper report or whatever?
The recent case?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some rapper.
Right.
Right?
Right. And how about that Marine that killed that and Obama's family that one, put him in prison and Obama freed him?
I'm not sure.
He killed. He killed. I think
Is that the one on the
Pakistan.
base?
I'm not sure what one, but it was. He was
Yeah.
in jail for like quite a few years.
Yeah.
You know.
I judge people by their actions, so
Right.
I look to see what they're doing before they're under the spotlight. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with some of the stuff Donald Trump has done.
He's my.
He got the Marine out. I don't know if he
That's
did it.
the one
You know, I don't know if he did
He had
that.
the right connections.
Well, I think he either paid the Mexican government what they wanted to get the guy out because he was a Marine. Donald Trump's a very patriotic guy.
Oh yeah.
He's
Oh, don't they try to take that away from him?
I remember one year, I saw a story that where he has his resort in Florida, he had a big giant flag. Donald Trump's born on Flag Day, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm born on Flag Day too. That's how I know
Congratulations.
it. He had a big giant flag. It was bigger than the city ordinance allowed, and the city said, "Well, you have to take that down." And he said, "I'm not going to take that down." And they said, "Well, we're going to fine you $1,000 a day until you take it down." He brought out his checkbook. He wrote him a check. He said, "Here, I'll leave it up all year." He's very into our military.
Yeah.
He's very into our, law enforcement. He's trying to do whatever he can at the border to make sure that I don't think he's trying to stop anybody from coming here. I
No.
think he's trying to make sure that the people come here
That's what
should
he
be
said.
coming here or aren't. I shouldn't say should be coming here. The people that are trying to come here aren't trying to escape
Right.
prison from the
Right,
places
no,
that they're
yeah.
coming from. We don't want to let a bunch of prisoners from escapees from other countries come here because they're murderers and rapists. So I don't think that comment is too far off. You got to make sure that you vet the people that come into your country. I liken it to your house.
Right.
All these people say open borders, let these people in. Take the front door off your house, and anybody who wants to wander in and out, let them wander in and out. They want to eat your food, you got to keep going to the store and buying food to keep their refrigerator full because you're not feeding them. You got to give them your bed. You got to let them live in your house. And if they murder you or your children in your sleep, you can't complain about it because,
Well,
you
one
can't
of the-
complain about it
right.
because you wanted to have an open border. So take the door off your off the front of your house and let whoever wants to come in, come in.
Look at remember when that girl
Then tell
put
me
all
how it
those
works out.
illegal immigrants camp on Nancy Pelosi's property?
Yeah?
And she called the police and the security to get them off. If there's so much in favor of all, take the fences down like that. What's his name? Mike Moore.
Mike Moore, yeah, he likes to make the movies to show the things that he likes you to see, right?
Yeah, and now we got who now they got that movie about assassination Trump now, and they say now they're not going to view it out or whatever.
I think it was a movie called The Hunt.
Right.
From what I
Right.
had read in the news, that it was the elite left
Yeah.
hunting down Trump supporters.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about ludicrous. Talk about insanity. You're going to make a movie about hunting down the opposition. What happens when they're the opposition? And then somebody makes a movie about hunting them down. We shouldn't be doing those things. Well, of course, you shouldn't be doing those things. Nobody's trying to hunt down anybody else. But I'll tell you what, it's not going to work out too well for people on the left if they want to start hunting down people on the right, because the people on the right have all the guns. Most of the guns.
You know what the sad part is, Phil? Is these people, what the AFTF or whatever,
Antifa.
Antifa.
Those are the anti-fascists
Right.
that hide their
If
face
they-
and beat people up.
Right. If you're so proud of what you're doing, throw away the mask.
So why you have to hide behind the mask.
Right. You know, and the women are just as vicious.
Yeah.
I watched it on Facebook, and I checked it out to make sure it's true. That young girl who was screaming in a 78-year-old man's face, and, well, her friend there was throwing Coca-Cola over.
Yeah. The anti-fascists are fascist.
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How's
You
that
know,
work?
Yeah. Well, George Soros there is paying them well.
All these rich guys doing whatever they're doing. I don't know.
And that's why I don't, honestly,
they're-
my heart, and I want something to prove me wrong. I do not believe that Epstein committed suicide.
Oh, nobody does. Even the U.S. Attorney General doesn't believe that he committed suicide. And you know what's funny? The conspiracy theorists, whatever you want to believe, but if there's a conspiracy, then it's not a really conspiracy theory. However, as soon as Jeff Epstein committed suicide, everywhere you see, who are they naming as the first suspect? And around the whole world, everybody says, oh, look, the Clintons killed him.
Well, I find it interesting when
Why?
the people that
Why
were-
does everybody in the whole world automatically point to them?
Because they're
Right?
guilty.
Because you see, like you said earlier,
Yeah.
there's other people that have died mysteriously. How do you shoot? What was it? Seth Rich, the guy from D.C.
Right.
2 bullets to the back of the head. How is that a suicide?
That guy in the Maryland.
they all mysteriously commit suicide.
Right, yeah.
How do you have that many friends in your life, in your circle, that have committed suicide, and the FBI doesn't even bother to go, maybe we should think about looking at that?
Now that, I am really scared for Barr. That's the thing,
Yep,
right?
yep.
I am truly very scared for him.
Yeah.
I am truly, I am so afraid that they're going to try to assassinate him.
Really? Wow.
Because he's bringing out the truth.
See, that's what I like about Donald Trump being president, right? He's not a Republican or Democrat. He's technically a Republican, but he's more of an independent, right?
Yeah.
He's not a politician that's been in any of these elected offices. So when he goes and does the things that he does, he screws it up for both sides, right? He undoes the little system that they had in place that they would do favors for each other behind the scenes, but in public they would be against each other. He's sort of dismantling all their little insider things, right? That's the draining of the swamp, and we hope that by the time he's...
What was that girl's name that they try to say that she had to admit that she was a liar? They paid her a lot of money to destroy Trump and all that.
Oh, was that the stripper?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened to her attorney?
Yeah. Seriously.
He's now on charges too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think for stealing money.
Right. Well, look at what's her old DJ or with that woman from Michigan there. She's a state rep. She's slamming everybody.
I saw something about that. Was that the woman that was saying that people should assassinate the president? Now they're asking for her to resign.
Right.
How could you be asking for people to assassinate a sitting president without the Secret Service knocking on your door saying, "Come with us, please"?
That's treason.
It's treason.
If it was a Republican, where would we be?
Then you'd have the Secret Service knocking on your door saying, "Come with us, please."
Absolutely.
That shows you what's going on inside our government. Yeah. They're picking and choosing when and where they should selectively enforce laws. If anybody had any confidence in our justice system, they would be outraged that nothing has actually gone the way that it's supposed to go. The people in the higher ups don't even get a slap on the wrist. They either get paid to retire or they get transferred to some other place.
Or they go to the cemetery.
Or they go to the cemetery and nothing ever happens. You or I or every other average citizen, they go to prison. Look at Edward Snowden, right? He didn't release anything secret to anybody other than the American people. Right? He was not. Anybody didn't. Well, I guess it was secret because the CIA didn't want anybody to know that they were spying on everybody. Right? The information that I didn't see it all, but from what I understand, the stuff that he had given away, and the same with the other ones, whatever information he gave away was the secret programs, the secret illegal programs that our own government has against us, that he gave to us. He didn't give it to a foreign government secretly. No. He exposed it openly to the world, that this is what they're doing. And he has to live in Russia.
That person in Nevada there that they
the Bundys.
Bundys.
Yeah. Now they're all, listen to this one, right? So you have the Bundy Ranch. You have the Bureau of Land Management that went and seized their ranch because the cattle were grazing on public lands. Public lands, their cattle's grazing on it, and so they tried to charge them like millions of dollars over a certain number of years, and since they didn't pay because it's public lands, they tried to seize all their stuff. This is a great example of America coming together. They all descended on this guy's ranch and held off the Bureau of Land Management, who, by the way, was armed to the teeth like they were a small army. Why are these departments of the United States armed to the teeth like they're a small army? The IRS has 1 million rounds of ammunition. What does the IRS need 1 million rounds of ammunition for? In any respect, our own state has an individual now that is in prison for being present at the Bundy Ranch, Jerry DeLemus.
Right. And she was actually on Gary's show.
Okay, his wife Susan. Yeah.
Well, like that, what's his name, Brown?
Ed and Elaine Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
She was a dentist.
Yep.
And the government came and took her $2 million. All he owned was like
took all their stuff.
Took everything.
Put him in prison.
And they sent him in prison.
Yeah.
Isn't that double jeopardy?
Well, what I understand is we don't have a debtor's prison in the United States, right? They got rid of that because then lots of people would be in prison. But if you don't pay your taxes, if you don't let the government steal your money,
Yeah.
we're going to put you in prison.
And doesn't say representation without taxation.
Taxation without representation.
Well, Phil, I got to let you go.
Okay.
I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Back on again, right?
Anytime.
All right, maybe once a
Anytime.
month. But you and I have a great debate. A great
I
conversation.
like it.
Yeah.
I think that's the way that we solve things, right?
Right.
You talk about them. You don't just say, this is my idea and your idea is wrong.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, I banged on the table
Yeah,
again.
that's
He's getting
Yeah. Oh, he's usually yelling at me
Yeah,
for it,
sorry.
you know. But, and also, I will tell you now, anytime that you want to come and talk about, and I'll make sure Phil comes on with, and you want to have a discussion or a debate with Phil and I, we'll love it.
Come on down. Anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll see you all next week on Norm's Community Corner. And remember, every day, you're the winner.